Yo, Flos, how's it all going? I hope you're all doing well. I really want to say thank you for everybody coming. It's good to see you here. And yeah, it's good to be here because I wasn't here last night. I was just too bushed. I was very tired. So anyway, I'm just going to say hi to everybody in the chat. As you can see, I'm waiting. I haven't got in. Anyway, as you can see, I'm just waiting to go in. I'm going to go in now. But first, I'm just say hi to everybody here. I've already got the votes going. 27 votes. Rising flat Earth. Well, hell no. What stupid is that? 85%. And yes, I'm a Delta disciple. 14%. Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting. I was challenged by JC for this because Dal is just too much of a coward to come and talk to me alone. So, hey, let's do this. Hey, PJ Cruikshank, good to see you. Citizen9, thank you for coming. Ryan S, thank you for coming. Good to see you. The Price of Adam, hello, hello. Glad you could make it. Arwen, always good to see you too. Awesome Laws and Clips, great to have you here, mate. Thank you for coming. Northern Rebellion, hello, hello. Aquila, thank you for coming. Good to see you. Victoria, it's great to have you here as well. The Price of Adam, I said hello. Television, thank you for coming. It's good to see you. Moxie, hello, hello. And Skeptic 936, great to see you too. Been a member for 9 months. Can you believe it? Thank you for coming. It's good to see you, and hi to you too. And then we got YouTube in. Good to see you. Ryan S. Hello. Michael Kahn, been a member for 11 months. Yeah, hold his feet to the fire. It's his burden. I 100% agree, mate. Thank you for coming. Lumpy Gas, thank you for coming, mate. Thank you for seeing you. Jeff Gassett, hello, hello. Sean Hawkins as well. HGD Rock, thank you for coming. Circle Joke of Enormous Proportions, good to see you too. Brian Stavely, hello. And then we got Richard G and TB. Yeah, well, it's good to have you guys here. I'm going to go in so long, and let's see if he's available. If you haven't already, please do share the show.
Hello, everyone, and here's Mr. Flatzoid himself. What's up, brother? How are you?
Hello, hello. Good to see you.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
So I'm glad we got it all pulled together. Sorry about like the last minute time
because
frames
I was like
and
stressing. I was like, is it still going to happen tonight? And I'm like, okay, I'll still have to do it anyway. So, but at least it's sorted.
Exactly. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a lot like that. I'm trying to get better with planning, but a lot of times it is fly by the seat of my pants there, buddy.
But you also say you've been busy with studies and stuff lately, so.
Yeah, I had to get a new job, and I'm all over the place. No excuses though. I need to be focused. I need to figure out how to better organize my time or whatever grown-ups do.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you being here.
Anytime. I'm glad you could invite me.
How's it? Yeah, we need to actually get our own show going, like we've been saying. Definitely. Maybe I think with this new schedule, I think it'll work out for me better, actually. Mr. JC23 is here, I believe. He might be working. Oh, there he is. Yes, sir. What's up, man?
Flatzoid.
How's it going?
Oh, okay. All right. Got everything I had to get done and ready to start the work week tomorrow.
Oh, that's great. But it's great to finally put a voice to your avatar.
Yeah.
So is there any particular format that you guys are thinking? Do you want to hash that out now? Or...
Well, I didn't prepare anything, so JC can have it on because he says I'm wrong. So if he wants to start it off, I'm more than happy to listen back.
If you guys don't mind, I'm just turning my camera on to let you know I'm a real person. I'm probably going to have my camera off because my internet connection is weak and, I'm still pretty new to this, so
we appreciate that.
Yeah, you can start it off if you want to, JC.
Okay, so maybe we could start off with something that's not really it's not really the actual crux of the debate, but it's something that you've been saying that maybe we could just get out of the way and move on. You it seems you've been in the habit of labeling this as globe rhetoric.
That's because it is. It's equivalence principle.
Okay, so the globe, first of all, Flatzoid, the globe is a conceptual model. It can't have rhetoric, so you need to be more specific. Like, what rhetoric is this? Where is this rhetoric coming from?
The globe, equivalence principle.
The globe can't say anything. Are you talking about Einstein or?
Einstein brought up the equivalence principle, correct?
That's what we're told, yeah. I mean, but at the end of the day, I mean, you read on the internet that Einstein said the equivalence principle, and that makes it somehow globe rhetoric.
It is globe rhetoric. That's got to do with general relativity. It's specifically got to do with your reference frames and the reason why you have quote-unquote time and space bending.
Okay, so, I mean, we know that time and space are both concepts. They're not physical things that you could bend. So, at the end of the day, the Earth being in upward motion, so I'm in the United States. You're in South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Can the Earth be in an upward motion for both me in the United States and you in South Africa? And is that physically possible for that to happen and be a ball at the same time?
Nope, we both agree that's rubbish.
Okay, so how can something that's physically impossible on a globe be globe rhetoric?
Because that's what the globe claims. It doesn't mean because it's physically impossible, doesn't mean they're not pushing it. Everything about the globe is physically impossible, yet they push it.
Okay, so
I don't know why you're trying to. We both agree the globe is nonsense, so we don't need to go into what the globe believes or not. The main point
Right.
of this is you guys are pushing the same globe rhetoric, the equivalence principle. It's globe belief, and you're pushing it on to flat Earth.
Well, I'm not pushing anything. I'm going where objective reality takes me. It's a logical conclusion. But I mean, you just conceded that what we're talking about, the upward motion of Earth, is literally impossible for a globe. It's physically impossible.
Yes, because
for the globe to be
all over.
Correct. So I don't see how that could be pushing the globe when it's literally something that's physically impossible to happen on a globe. But
because it was created for globe rhetoric, it was created for their narrative, and the Flat Earth Society had taken that narrative and stuck it onto a flying pizza through space. That's why.
Well, it was created to help explain a globe, but I mean that same rhetoric also says that you could treat the Earth as if it's flat and non-rotating, but trust us, it's a spinning ball. So the equivalence principle is basically stating that you could treat the Earth as if it's in an upward motion, but trust us, it's a ball, and there's this gravity thing that equally accelerates all objects towards it.
So I can say the same thing. We can believe the Earth is rising up, so therefore just trust us, the Earth is rising up, even though you aren't able to observe this upward rising Earth. So you're doing exactly what the globe Earthers do, and then want to run away from it.
And you wouldn't say you're doing the same thing by supporting the idea of equal acceleration, even though that defies physics?
Doesn't defy physics. Things do accelerate at the same rate.
Things accelerate at the same rate.
Yeah, it's inertia, mate.
Okay.
It's mechanical physics.
Well, can I'm going to share my screen here real quick, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay. Share audio. Okay, you guys got that?
Mm-hmm. Can I just quickly comment that to Rachie quickly? Yeah, the equivalence principle hinges off of general relativity hinges off of the equivalence principle, Rachie. That's what came afterwards. It was the extra postulation afterwards. Inertia is the resistance to acceleration as well. Exactly. Newtonian mechanics.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Deep within each ear, there is a balance system called a labyrinth composed of 3 semicircular canals. These semicircular canals are also connected to the cochlea, which is the organ that allows for hearing. Each semicircular canal is responsible for sensing a particular head direction. Each semicircular canal is filled with fluid, and when displacement of this fluid occurs within the canal, nerve signals are sent to the brain informing which direction the head just turned. The posterior semicircular canal shown here detects when the head tilts down towards the shoulder. The superior semicircular canal detects when the head nods up and down in a yes motion. The lateral semicircular canal detects when the head shakes side to side in a no motion. When a person is dizzy, one of the main tests performed to determine whether the inner ear is the source of the dizziness is the Dix-Hallpike maneuver shown here. The head is turned 45 degrees and the body laid back such that the head is extended about 20 to 30 degrees. If the right inner ear is causing a person's dizziness, eye twitching called nystagmus will occur, a condition called BPPV. Depending on how the eye twitches, specific body maneuvers can be performed to potentially cure a patient of their dizziness.
Okay, so you understand that those semicircular canals, Flatzoid, are essentially accelerometers, right?
The vestibular. Yeah, we know this. That's why if you have ear infection, you can become dizzy and feel like you're off balance.
Okay, so you understand that they rely on detecting acceleration for the very fact that things do not accelerate at the same rate. It's that unequal displacement that actually denotes acceleration itself.
You do know that if you have accelerated, you understood that we're showing in different paths, so different vectors. Correct?
Different vectors.
So if you in a helicopter, for instance, you're going to be able to close your eyes and know which way you're accelerating, correct?
Suppose so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks to those.
But there's more than just that goes into it.
I don't know what you're trying to, because what you're showing is we would be able to detect the movement. That's what you're trying to say.
Yes, because things don't accelerate at the same rate.
Things do accelerate at the same rate. These are measurable and observable. So you're making a claim things don't accelerate at the same rate. So that's your burden. Would you be able to provide me with evidence that things do not accelerate at the same rate?
I just did. I just showed you a physical cause and effect relationship that's like built into our own biology.
That's not science. That's not cause and effect.
Sure it is. Yeah. What was causing the displacement of the fluids?
Movement.
Acceleration, going from non-moving to moving.
Okay, but what was the effect? What is the observed phenomena? That's what I'm trying to say.
What is the observed phenomena? What I just showed you.
No, what's the observed phenomena? Dizziness.
No.
Okay, well then what's the observed phenomena?
What's the observed phenomena is acceleration causing the fluids to displace.
No, that's not the observed phenomena. So you observe fluids to displace in someone's ear. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
When have you observed that?
We just did.
No, you didn't. They were explaining the vestibular system due to how you know if someone's dizzy or not. That's not observed phenomena. not science, that mate.
Okay, here.
Okay. How are you going to manipulate? Tell me how you're going to
I'll give you
manipulate your
I'll
cause.
give you an
How are you
hold
going to
on,
manipulate
Flatzoid.
your
I'll give
cause?
you an observed phenomena. Here, hold on.
I think he's looking for something. But let me get this straight. You're trying to say because we don't detect motion, therefore motion?
What's your grounds that you don't detect motion right now?
There is no measurable motion. There's no observable motion. So the burden's on you. That's what I'm saying. So you have to provide evidence that we are having motion, not me to provide that there's no motion.
You have a directional orientation to your weight. That's
Yeah.
impossible without motion. It's a vector.
And
Can you manipulate and demonstrate a vector without using motion, Flatzoid?
yes, I can.
Okay.
Just like Sleeping Warrior, when he did his experiment, he made the water denser, the medium, and the egg accelerated.
Okay. So that's supposed to be demonstrating a vector with no motion when the egg moved?
He changed the density of the medium, and the egg accelerated.
So it moved.
Because of the density change, not accelerated. Did he accelerate the medium, or did he change the density of the medium?
The egg itself was literally moving.
Why?
And he didn't, and also he didn't control for all the variables with that experiment, with that egg experiment.
Control for all the okay. I think you got a mixture on how science works. First of all, when it comes to a scientific experiment, you have one cause. His cause was the density was the cause for the acceleration. He changed the density, therefore the egg accelerated. So he validated the cause. So what are the other variables that you're talking about?
So if you validate an alternative hypothesis, correct? Then that cause, would you agree that cause will never not induce the effect if it's a validated cause and effect?
If you validated a cause, it will always be the cause. Today, tomorrow, forever.
It will always cause the effect?
Yeah.
So if you put that same system that Sleeping Warrior demonstrated through a drop test, the more dense medium will not cause the egg to go up.
Because they're all accelerating at the same rate.
Okay, so we're back to your
this is observed.
You're back to your claim that defies physics.
Listen, you're trying to push burden onto me. You are the one claiming that the Earth is accelerating, okay? I'm not the one here to show that the Earth is not accelerating, because that's what we observe. So you should first go provide the evidence that you have to show the Earth accelerating. I'm more than happy to show that the Earth's not accelerating, just like I explained. With experiment, change the density, the egg accelerated. So therefore, no movement caused the egg to accelerate, which you said is impossible. So now it's your burden. Now it's your burden to show the Earth accelerating, please.
And I already explained to you that his experiment is flawed because he's presupposing a stationary observation. And I already just explained to you how when put through a drop test, the egg doesn't move. So put through the drop test, the cause does not induce the effect. That's a problem with your experiment.
That's a total different experiment. If his experiment was at static, the egg caused the density caused the egg to accelerate. It was validated, correct?
Yes, and you just
Great, great.
agreed
No, shush.
that the
That-
cause will
can I
never
talk?
not cause the effect.
Great.
You just
So that
agreed
was
that the
at-
cause will never not cause
Why are
the
you talking of
effect.
me? So that was at static, correct? Was that whole apparatus static? Was he accelerating everything while it was sitting still?
Everything is in an upward motion while you
No,
think it's
that's
sitting
your
still. Yeah.
assumption. That's your assumption, which you have to provide evidence for.
I already did. It's a necessary antecedent, Flatzoid. It's a necessary antecedent.
False. The egg.
True.
Okay, show me the egg and the bottle accelerating while sitting still on a table, please.
The egg and what accelerating when sitting still on a table?
Yeah. You claiming it's accelerating, correct? So that's your burden. Show me that the egg and that water was accelerating.
Yeah, it's displaced. That's a clear indicator of
Sorry, that's
acceleration.
circular reasoning. You said you made assumption that I'm saying it's static, which is observed. You are making the claim that it's not static, which is not observed. So the burden is on you. So prove to me that it's not accelerating.
No, it's you're the one backtracking and going into circular reasoning because I already pointed out.
It's accelerating.
I already
prove it's accelerating.
Flatzoid, I didn't talk
I don't want
over
stories.
you.
I want to prove that it's accelerating.
I already demonstrated to you that when put through a drop test, the cause, your supposed cause, is not inducing the effect of the egg moving up.
Again.
And the only thing, your only explanation is another blatant disregard of physics. Things don't accelerate at the same rate.
Again, according to physics, things accelerate at the same rate. This is called inertia. Okay? You're the one that's ignoring this. Secondly, the egg test was done at static observation. You claiming it is accelerating. Did I claim that the experiment was done with a drop test, or did I explain it was done at static?
You said that the cause, once validated, will never not induce the effect. And I just pointed out an example to you of the cause not inducing the effect.
Okay, listen here. We at step 1. That egg and the water was at static. It was at rest. This was observed. Doing a drop test is a total red herring of that experiment. Doing a drop test is a different experiment having accelerative frames. You understand? You making the claim that that egg on the table with water accelerating is your burden to prove that it is accelerating, therefore having displacement. So go ahead and disprove that it was static, please, because you claiming against what observation shows.
Okay. Here's downward acceleration, Flatzoid. You got the screen here? Can you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You see that? This is hooked to an apparatus that accelerates it. It pulls it downwards. Oh. It's a bungee that Okay, so by your logic, Flatzoid, the bubble should be staying still because things accelerate at the same rate. But there you go, it's not.
Again.
Things don't accelerate at the same rate. That's an actual demonstration showing you that things don't accelerate at the same rate. And in any case where you manipulate and demonstrate that mechanism of motion, that's what it shows. So how are you shifting the burden of proof onto me when you're the one making this claim that defies physics? So
there was a bungee in there. Is that what you're saying?
It was an apparatus that manually accelerated the object down. I misspoke when I said pull. There's no such thing as a pulling force, but
so it forced the object down. Is that what you're saying?
It accelerated it down.
On a bungee.
It accelerated it down.
So faster than free fall.
It accelerated it down.
So faster than free fall.
Is free fall acceleration?
Yes, but free fall and acceleration you can give different amounts of acceleration. So you were forcing it to fall faster than free fall, correct?
Is that, I mean, that's non sequitur. It's acceleration.
Are you
Accelerate-
making it fall faster than what we observe it to accelerate in reality?
You can.
So in other words, you are inducing extra force, are you not?
Extra force, sure.
Great. So therefore it's not natural then, it's man-induced.
It's the only example of acceleration that we could manipulate and demonstrate. That's literally it. You're requesting a special, see what I mean? Natural acceleration. What is that? Can you manipulate and demonstrate that? And I'm not talking about just dropping a bottle and saying, see, there it is. Because that's honestly, Flatzoid, that's no different than Neil Tyson walking on stage and dropping a microphone and saying, see, this happens because mass attracts mass. See, the mass of the microphone goes down towards the mass of the earth.
I love how
So you need to be able to manipulate.
I love how
you need to be able to manipulate and demonstrate your mechanism motion, Flatzoid.
I love how you have not yet been able to demonstrate the earth rising up and then telling me I have the burden to prove it's not rising up. I gave you something that you said was impossible to prove, hence the egg was static in a water, changed the density, and the egg accelerated. I didn't move any reference frame. The egg accelerated just by changing the density. Okay? You made a claim it's not static. You made the claim that egg and the water on the table is moving up. Then you go and show me a different apparatus being forced downwards with extra force and saying, see, they don't accelerate at the same rate by ignoring you induced extra force on the system as a whole. Inertia.
You could accelerate an object at the same rate as free fall, if not slower, and it's going to displace.
So then you're debunking the whole argument that things don't accelerate when they fall to the ground?
Things don't accelerate when they fall. What you observe as accelerating towards Earth is not acceleration. You don't have the physical effects that acceleration induces.
Oh, really? So when I drop a bowling ball from a helicopter and it makes a divot in the ground, that's not force attributed thanks to the acceleration of the bowling ball?
It's not the bowling ball moving down. You have yet to demonstrate that mechanism of motion, Flatzoid.
Okay. It's measured. You can take actual measurements calculating optically the bowling ball accelerating downwards to the earth. This is observed and measured. Just like I can show you optically measurable, if you let go of a helium balloon, it accelerates upwards.
And that's a mechanism of motion that could be demonstrated. Buoyancy. That's the only motion I'm claiming.
You're literally debunking your accelerating Earth here. So the balloon does accelerate then?
The balloon goes up.
It accelerates?
Initially, yeah, to create that separation, but that doesn't mean it's constantly accelerating.
If I got a helium balloon and let's say a sulfur hexafluoride balloon next to each other, the helium balloon goes up and the sulfur hexafluoride balloon goes down. You can optically see and measurable the sulfur hexafluoride balloon accelerate down and the helium balloon accelerate up. Okay? Is that measurable and optically observed?
Optically, yes. You understand that optically.
So the burden then is on you saying it's not accelerating. So what are you moaning about here? Because you literally say they're accelerating, which is our point.
I've already explained it to you. There's a physical cause and effect relationship with acceleration that does not take place when you claim something's accelerating. That's all there is to it.
You just showed a thing with a bungee showing it accelerating at different rates, correct? You claimed it's showing acceleration at different rates. That's what you just said.
No, I didn't claim it. That's what happens. That's literally what happens. If you accelerate,
So it's a
if you
claim
accelerate a
then.
containment with liquids and gases in any direction, including down, you're going to observe displacement of the liquids and gases.
Okay, but now when they are at free fall and they've reached, let's say, terminal velocity, okay, do you think those things will displace again? Let's say I drop a bottle from a hot air balloon with liquid and gas and an object, and they're not displacing while they're falling, but now it's reached terminal velocity. Will they displace again?
How does something displace again? What do you mean?
Once it's reached terminal velocity, the bottle, it's still moving towards the Earth. We can see this. Okay, so it's moving at a constant now. Is it showing displacement while your beloved Earth is still rising towards it?
I'm not sure what you're getting at as far as what it's already displaced in one direction.
Again, if a bottle he reaches terminal velocity, it will show the displacements again, and it's still showing the whole bottle move towards your ground. So if you're claiming it's not the free fall that creates the displacement, it's your upward moving Earth, then why is it at free fall when the bottle reaches terminal velocity, the Earth's still moving up to reach it, it displaces again?
You understand that terminal velocity means the end of velocity, right? Terminal means that when something ends.
But it's still moving. It just moves at
It's
a
appearing
constant.
to move based on your observation.
Appearing
based
to
on-
move. Okay,
Yes.
let's tell skydivers, sorry guys, when you fall at terminal velocity, you're not actually moving. You're just appearing to move so you can stay in the sky forever. Let's just float around. Who needs a parachute?
What are you talking about? The Earth is still going to come up and smack them. I don't understand
Earth doesn't
I don't
come up.
understand what you think the difference is.
You are claiming the Earth is rising. You have yet to provide any evidence for that.
I just did. I
You didn't.
told you how you're
saying it's rising. Show me Earth rising. You dropping an apparatus to the ground is observation that the apparatus is dropping to the ground. You are saying it's not the apparatus dropping to the ground, which is just idiotic. It's actually mentally insane. Show me the Earth rising
Flatzoid,
up.
when you see the sun go down below the horizon, is it going down below the horizon?
Non sequitur. That's called
No,
perspective.
that is definitely you're
No,
making a
that's
claim
perspective.
of optics.
That's a non sequitur.
You're making a claim
it's a
of
red
optics.
herring. It's a red herring, and it's got nothing to do with the conversation we're having now. That's perspective.
Okay, so
I
you're
don't know
going to
that.
run away because you
Is the sun
acknowledge
moving?
that
Is the
pure
sun
optics
falling?
isn't enough
Is the
to
sun,
go off of.
Is the sun falling?
Pure optics
Is
is
the
not
sun
enough
falling?
to go off of. How
Is-
do you deduce that it's not?
Is the sun falling?
How do you deduce that it's not?
How do I deduce what's not?
How do you deduce that the sun is not going down below the horizon? Because your optics tell you it is.
It's
Okay, so you've just been talking about how your optics tell you that the object is accelerating.
Why you want us
even
to
though
go?
it defies a cause and effect relationship.
Sorry. Now you're obfuscating from your burden. You are moving to a red herring fallacy, and you want me now to go and prove sunsets when the burden on you is proving that the Earth is rising. So prove the Earth is rising to the object, and show that the object is not falling to the ground. Show me this because it's measurable.
I already did.
It's
No
observable.
displacement, no acceleration.
That bottle. When we looked in the
No
back,
displacement,
you want to
no
bring up,
acceleration.
you want to bring that video up again, and then we look in the background as we see the trees and everything get closer to it as it's falling towards it.
Yeah, what about it?
So observe the object fell towards the ground.
It appeared to fall towards the ground.
Okay, let's put this way. If I put a camera on the object that's falling and I put a camera on the ground that's watching the object fall, what do we observe?
If you put which camera are you observing? through?
Both cameras. What do we observe?
Well, from one camera, you're going to observe the Earth moving up, and from the other,
No,
you're
you
going to
don't.
observe the object falling.
That's rubbish. You on both of them, you observe it going down to the ground. That's total idioticness. Where you're coming from, we observe the ground moving up. You don't see the ground moving up to the object. That's a lie.
Sure, you do. If you're viewing it from that reference frame, that's what you're going to observe.
Are you really sure about that? You want to make that claim?
Okay, Flatzoid, you're on a bus. You're sitting on a bus, and someone's walking down the aisle of the bus, and the driver floors it while that person's in the aisle. Do you observe the person flying to the back of the bus when the bus accelerates forward?
Yes.
Okay, it's not the person flying to the back of the bus though.
Oh, okay. So
Okay,
he doesn't.
yeah,
He doesn't have.
here we go.
He doesn't have inertia again. There's no. You don't know what inertia is.
The person isn't moving to the back of the bus, Flatzoid. It's the bus accelerating forward.
Wow. If ignorance had words, guys, listen. The guy is moving to the back of the bus while the bus is moving forward. You know, he still trips and falls while the bus is moving towards him. Do you get that?
So the bus is moving towards him.
While he is tripping and falling to the back of the bus.
What pushed him?
What do you mean? What pushed him? Nothing pushed him. The bus accelerated and he fell.
In order for him to have flew to the back of the bus, something had to have pushed him, Flatzoid. Motion requires a mechanism.
Yes, and the mechanism where we talk about is not having Earth accelerating up, because we can observe, like the egg experiment, changing the density caused the egg to accelerate. Therefore, your accelerating Earth is non-founded on circular reasoning.
Sorry, run that by me again, Flatzoid. I was distracted for a second. My apologies.
Just like the egg experiment,
Uh-huh.
which is observed to be static, when we change the density of the medium or the egg or the object, it will show acceleration. So therefore, debunking your notion that only movement causes movement. Does that not?
Okay, Flatzoid.
Does that not? Because you claimed that you require movement to cause movement, correct?
Yes, only motion could
Great.
cause motion.
So if I show you an example, like an experiment, if I change the density of the egg or the density of the medium and it accelerates, did I disprove your notion that only movement causes movement?
No, because like I already told you, you're presupposing a stationary observation.
It's observed stationary. You are presupposing it moving up, and you still haven't given any evidence that it is moving up. You're just saying, nah, let me drop something and say it's not dropping.
Okay, Flatzoid, while you're doing that experiment, are you standing, let's just say you have that experiment on the table and you're standing next to the table. And while you're stationary, as far as your belief, right? Does your weight have a direction? Your weight has a directional orientation while you're stationary, correct?
Yeah, which you're still trying to go against because you're saying Earth is rising up. Density gives your weight. Density gives your weight.
You're stationary and you have a weight and a direction, correct?
Yes.
You agree to that?
Yes.
Okay, you see my screen here?
No.
No.
Sorry for the delay, my fault.
No
There
stress.
you go. You got it?
Excrete. Yep.
Okay, so let's see what Flatzoid has to say about stationary.
Showing downwards, correct?
Yeah. There's no direction of something stationary down. It has no momentum, no vector, no magnitude, no velocity. Wow.
By the way, Execrate is not the guy you should be using to show my stuff, because he loves to take things out of context and literally shows he's a clown.
So that was literally just you talking. There was no cuts or anything. So
okay, what did I say there? What did I say there?
When you're stationary, do you have a direction or not?
Yes.
You do. So you're disagreeing with yourself.
You have a relative direction, correct? When you're stationary.
So okay,
What's your
relative.
What's your relative direction? Feet to the ground, correct? Head to the sky.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Relative direction.
And how is and what is that explained by?
But do you have a vector? No, you don't.
No, your weight is a vector.
Yeah, pressure on the surface, correct?
Your weight is a vector. Yes.
Caused by density.
Density, that doesn't explain directionality.
Oh, yes,
You're
it
more
does.
dense. You're more dense than the air above you. That doesn't explain directional orientation.
Oh, yes, it does.
How does it?
When I pick up a rock, did I pick it up or did I get it from the sky?
Doesn't matter.
It does matter. Where did I pick a rock up from?
Okay, so why is the rock on the ground?
You haven't answered me.
Why is the rock on the ground?
Because it's denser than the air around it.
It's denser than the air above it. How come it's not going up?
Where did you pick the rock up from? Why should
Non
you expect?
sequitur.
No. Why would you expect
Non
it to be?
sequitur.
Why would you expect it to go up?
You just said because it's denser than the air.
Great. So why would you expect it to go up?
Why are you asking me that question again? I
Because
already
you
answered
telling me why is it not going up? So I'm asking you, why would you expect it to go up?
Because there's a directionality that doesn't have anything to do with density.
Oh, so if something's not denser, it's going to not go down then. Do you know how displacement works?
I should ask you that. Do you know how displacement works?
Archimedes principle, yes, I understand it, and that's why I'm asking you this very specific thing. Do you know how displacement works?
Explain it to me.
I'm asking you. I'm not going to give you the answer if I'm asking you. Do you know how you know how it works? I'm just going to give you a quick little keyword. Archimedes principle.
Okay.
And just a short note, Archimedes principle doesn't require the G factor. It was created 1,900 years before gravity was even conceptualized. So don't come and push a straw man and say, oh, but you're pushing gravity. No, gravity is not even needed in Archimedes principle. It has never been. It's just simply the displacement of pressure. So again, do you know how Archimedes principle works?
Does it have anything to do with your claim that objects accelerate at the same rate that you can't demonstrate?
Ooh, straw man, I asked you a simple question. Do you know how Archimedes principle works? So this is when you're supposed to answer me and say, this is how Archimedes principle works. So I'm going to take it as no, you don't.
Explain it to me. I already told you.
So you're
what
going
does
to
it have,
concede. So you're
what
going
does
to
it have to
concede.
do with your directional orientation?
So are you going to concede then that you don't know how Archimedes principle works?
What does it have to do with your directional orientation?
Answer me. Then you concede. Must I explain to you how it works? So you're conceding you don't know how displacement works.
I already told you to explain it to me. Go ahead.
So you don't know how it works. So I just want to be very concise. So you're saying you don't understand how Archimedes principle works.
Explain it to me.
Okay, Hammer, this is where I'm going to come into you. Moderator, would you ask him to please just answer me? It's a simple concession, yes or no, then we can move on.
So I believe the question was,
does he understand how Archimedes principle works? In other words, displacement. It's a simple yes or no. He just has to say, if he says yes, he can explain it. If he says no, then he can concede he doesn't know, then I can explain it.
Mr. JC.
Okay. No, explain it to me.
Great. Okay, so it's simply just the displacement due to the surface area. Okay, so pressure distributed around the surface area of an object. So you would agree, let's say when I drop a feather through the air, it takes much longer to reach the ground than, let's say, a tennis ball.
Okay.
Why? Because it's displacing more of the air around it. Correct? That's why you have large ships that can float in the ocean, even though they weigh a lot and their densities are much more than the air, than the water. It's because of the displacement of the pressure. Understand?
Yeah, go on.
Great. So when we have a helium balloon going up, it's displacing, you're saying the air is displacing against it to push it up, correct? Buoyancy, in other words?
Correct. Buoyant objects are displaced upwards, yes.
Great. So you understand that it accelerates up not due to Earth moving or anything moving, just simply due to its density and the medium around it.
That medium around it has to be having a force exerted on it in order for the object to displace up.
Great. So when something touches something, it has a force on it, correct? Like if you're in a, let's say, swimming pool, you would agree the water is pushing against you.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you get out of the pool, the air is pushing against you.
Okay.
Great. So when I pick up let's say this mouse from my chair and I let it go, you would understand the air around it is forcing itself onto this mouse. Now the mouse is denser than the air around it. Okay? Where is the most force coming from onto this mouse at the moment, where it's sitting?
You tell me.
Above it, correct? Because there's more air hitting downwards on it at the moment than there is that's hitting up on top of it, correct?
So are you saying the mouse gets pushed down?
No, the mouse itself is denser, so it cannot be supported by the air. But there's more air above than there is on the bottom, correct?
Is that why you say it goes down? Because there's more air above it than below it?
I'm just trying to explain displacement to you. The reason things go down is because it's
So what was the point
denser.
of what you just said?
I was explaining displacement. You said you don't know what displacement is.
I asked you to explain directional orientation.
With displacement, so I just did.
Okay, so the reason it goes down is because there's more air above it than below it.
No, the reason
You
it
just-
goes
that's
down.
what you just cited.
The reason it goes down is because it's denser than the air around it.
Which
It
doesn't explain directional orientation.
It cannot support it.
The air above it can't support it either.
But I had to
But
pick.
we're
do you
going
know-
in
do you-
circles here.
Do you know how energy works?
We're going in circles
Do you
here.
know how energy works?
What is energy?
It's just let's say for work. We'll work in thermodynamics. It's able to do work. We'll say that's energy. Okay. Now I pick it up. Okay. I've put work into the system. Okay. This is where now potential energy comes into, which I don't like to really use because then the globe is up and say, oh, you're pushing gravity, which is nonsense. I picked this up. I put work into the system. Okay. When I let it go, where would the vector be? What would happen? Equal and opposite reaction, correct?
You're still not explaining
It would
directionality,
seek,
Flatzoid.
I am. I've picked it up.
No, you're
I've
not.
put energy into the system from where?
Okay, you're arguing that the mouse has to go back to where you moved it from. So pick it up. You have it picked up. Now move it over to your left. Is it going to fly back to your right?
No, because the air
Because you're
is
not
here.
explaining directional
the
orientation.
Force, the force of this thing is going which way? The pressure of this mouse is forced which way? Down, correct? It's relative.
And you're not offering a valid mechanism for
yes,
your
I
assertions.
am.
You're
Yes,
just,
I am. The air
no,
cannot
you're just speaking after the fact. But we're going in circles.
The air cannot support the mouse. I picked it up. So I've put energy into the system. Now this mouse is static where it is. Okay. When I let it go, you would agree it took me energy to bring it upwards. It would take more energy to bring it more upwards, correct?
Will it take energy to move it to your side?
Yes, but it's still going down because I've picked it up.
Because you're not explaining directional orientation.
Again, I'm trying to
You're
explain
just
this
up-
as simple as I can because I really see you do not get the physics behind this. If you
Yeah,
pick
of
up
course.
something upwards, let's draw a line from the chair to this, okay? Imagine an imaginary line with an upward arrow with energy, okay? Do you expect when I let it go that it's going to have more energy going up Or is it going to turn into kinetic energy and go back to its equilibrium point?
There's no mechanism for what you're describing. You're not
You
explaining
simply
directional
need
orientation.
to answer me. Do you expect something to go further up once you've put the energy into it already? Or do you expect it to now use that energy to go back to equilibrium, to seek equilibrium?
The object to use energy.
So, potential energy to kinetic energy, correct?
Yes, quantify it.
Physics.
You're just arguing that you gave that object something, a property that it didn't have.
Yeah,
you need to
I
be able
picked
to
it up.
quantify that
I picked
property.
it out of its relative equilibrium position.
No, Flatzoid. When I give a vehicle, when I give a vehicle more potential energy to do more work, I could take that. I could quantify that potential and show it to you. I could show you the gasoline that I just put in it.
Mm-hmm.
What can you show
I
me
burn calories.
that you gave that mouse?
I burned calories when I picked up this mouse.
So your calories went into the mouse. Is that what you're telling me right now?
Don't be stupid. That's idiotic.
No, you don't be stupid. That's what
Dude,
what you're talking about.
You are getting so, how can I put this? You're getting so ripped apart with everything that you can't accept classical physics right now and saying stupid stuff like you putting calories into a mouse. I burn calories, hence work done to get the mouse up here, okay? It now has potential energy, okay? When I let it go,
you
it
just
has
gave
kinetic
something
energy.
to the mouse.
Yeah, by picking it up out of its equilibrium.
So you don't see the double speak that you're doing there.
What double speak?
You just said, oh, it's
Are you
stupid
saying-
to think that
are you
for
saying-
you to say that I gave my calories to the mouse, but then you just said you gave it potential energy. So
Is
what's the
calories-
difference in what you're saying?
I burnt calories. I did work. That's how it works, okay? I didn't give a mouse calories. So yes, that's dumb. No, everybody's going to laugh
I
at
agree.
you when
It
they...
is dumb.
Yeah, because you said it. You saying I gave the mouse calories.
No,
that's idiotic.
You said it.
No,
You
I didn't. This
Did
is
you
live.
not just hear yourself?
Everybody, can you please answer me? Press 1 if I said I gave the mouse calories, or press 2 if the CJ guy said I gave the mouse calories.
See, it's JC, but
Or
whatever.
JC, sorry.
No worries.
And I can
So-
guarantee you everybody's going to say 2.
Okay. So
Just want to say I'm
Flatfoot-
enjoying the chat, guys. It's
Yeah,
keep it
yeah,
respectable. Love you guys.
Yeah, by the way,
Yeah,
guys, go and subscribe to Hammer if you guys haven't already. Definitely well worth it.
Yeah.
But now we're
And
going
I,
totally off course now because you still haven't provided me evidence of Earth rising up.
I just explained to you how your claim of downward acceleration defies physics, but
I just gave you actual physics that people use in reality, and you're telling me it defies physics. You have not given me any evidence that that egg on the table is rising up.
we use accelerometers in reality, and accelerometers, all accelerometers actually rely on a physical cause and effect relationship of things not accelerating equally, like you claim they do when they move down.
So when you drop something and they call it 0g, is everything accelerating at the same rate?
No.
No. So
No.
when someone's in a vomit comet, okay, and you see all those people floating around at 0g, are they all
Yeah,
accelerating?
they're not accelerating.
Are they not accelerating? So that plane
No.
is not going down towards the ground.
It's appearing to.
Okay, and what happens? You do know when they first hit 0g, the plane's still going away from Earth? Upwards?
What's your point?
Point is, accelerating away from Earth, showing 0g. Uh-oh, maybe you didn't know that.
It's losing upward velocity.
Sorry, they are
When you let go of an object,
they're moving away from your accelerative Earth, and they're showing 0g. So that goes away from your claim that Earth is causing 0g.
yeah, I mean, I don't know what you think you're proving, but
I'm proving that you're just being a total numbskull and not accepting when you lost the debate, mate.
No, when you're claiming that they're accelerating down, they're clearly not accelerating down. They're not accelerating anywhere. They're floating.
Again, that's your claim.
No, it's your claim. I don't have a claim that defies physics, Flatzoid. You do.
You claiming you claiming I'm sitting here is accelerating up. That's your claim. Okay?
Yeah, you have weight and
Against
direction.
observation. Okay.
You have a vector.
Prove that I am accelerating up.
I just explained it to you.
No,
motion is the necessary antecedent for the conditions that you're observing when you think you're stationary.
Yet I can show you an egg stationary, accelerating due to changing the density.
You just keep asserting that it's stationary based on
It
pure
is
optics.
stationary.
No, it has weight and direction. It's not stationary.
Because of
motion
its
is
density.
required. Motion is required for weight and direction, Flatzoid.
But
it's necessary.
listen to what you're saying.
antecedent.
Listen what you're saying. Motion is the reason we see directionality and acceleration. That's what you're saying, correct? That's your claim. So I
Correct.
go and show an experiment that shows it's not the case. Therefore, your circular reasoning Baha has been shown false. So therefore, you cannot tell me my stationary experiment showing it to be stationary, causing the egg to move, is not stationary. Is maybe you needing medication or something because you're claiming against reality?
Yeah, nice try, buddy. Like I said, I've already explained it to you many times. Your experiment relies on the presupposition. It actually relies on your reification of a presupposition of a stationary direction. That's a married bachelor claim.
Okay, so you projecting your
That's an oxymoron.
So you projecting your presupposition onto reality and then saying mine is a presupposition while I observe it not to be happening. Got it.
I already told you, you observe your weight and a direction to your weight. Motion is the necessary antecedent for that observation.
Must I bring up the egg experiment for you and show you, and then you show me where everything's
No, because we're just going in circles. We're just going in circles.
Because you can't because you have not given any evidence for your burden that you've claimed.
I already did.
You didn't.
You just said acceleration
listen,
causes displacement. No displacement, no acceleration. The object isn't accelerating down. If the object isn't accelerating down, then what's moving?
Okay, so let's do this again. I go and take the egg experiment, for instance.
Go in circles again.
And I go on a hot air balloon, and it's not attached to your beloved Earth anymore. And I get the same results.
What results are you talking about?
The egg accelerating because I changed the density of the medium.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Was
that hot air balloon accelerating?
Okay. Is the hot air balloon being pushed up
That's what you guys say, claim, yeah.
by the air that is also being pushed up?
Great. So now I want to do this again. Let's say I am busy going up with the hot air balloon, okay? I'm moving upwards, away from the Earth at the moment. And I do the same thing, and it shows displacement. What then?
You're being pushed up by the hot air balloon.
And
you're being pushed up by a force You're being pushed up by a force at your feet.
Listen to what I'm saying.
So what are you
Listen
proving?
to what I'm saying. The hot air balloon is accelerating away from the Earth, okay? It's moving upwards, correct?
It's moving up. Correct.
So it's accelerating away from the Earth. Your
Earth if initially to cause that initial acceleration.
Great. And now I have that same egg experiment, and I've changed the density, and the egg also moved up. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
What does that say for your accelerating Earth?
It says that it's being supported by a force pushing up on it.
No, it
doesn't. I don't understand what you think you're proving.
A force pushing up on it would cause the egg to go down, not up. Do you know how a vector works?
A force pushing up You're talking about when the egg is buoyant. A force pushing up on it would cause it to go down.
If I have the egg in
Are you
neutral,
sure about that?
If I have the egg in neutral buoyancy and I'm in a hot air balloon accelerating away from the Earth, and I change the density and the egg seems to accelerate upwards and not downwards, does that go against your claim?
You have the egg in a neutral buoyancy, and then you change the medium to where it goes up, and then you accelerate that whole system up.
The whole system's already accelerating up on the hot air balloon.
It's being pushed up, yeah.
Great, so the egg would have to go down then, not up, correct? When I change the density.
No. When you change the density to where the egg will be buoyant and go up.
So it's not the accelerating Earth causing the density then. Congratulations.
Okay. It's being pushed up. It's being the container is being pushed up by the hot air balloon, which is in turn being pushed up by the air, which is in turn being pushed up by the Earth, Flatzoid. You're saying in the same vector.
But if I'm accelerating away from the Earth and I get it to go the opposite vector, therefore not accelerating Earth, JC.
I don't know what you think you're proving, but
what I'm showing
I don't,
is
like you,
what I'm showing
I don't
is
even know what you're
you
talking
don't
about,
think
dude.
further than your nose. I'm sorry, but you're throwing actual physics, demonstrable physics away for a circular reasoning, flat Earth society, globe pushing rhetoric nonsense. That's as simple
Genetic
as that.
fallacy. That's a genetic fallacy.
Sorry,
And
are you claiming the Earth is accelerating up through space?
it's a genetic fallacy.
Are you claiming Earth is accelerating up through space?
I'm not claiming any specific. I'm not claiming any definitive specificity of motion. I'm claiming it's in an upward motion.
Then what you fighting for then? So
It's in an upward motion.
So it is accelerating up then.
I didn't say. Did I say accelerating? It's in an upward motion.
Constant or accelerating?
Like I said, I can't leave the Earth to find that out exactly,
Is it
Flatzoid.
constant or accelerating? You making a claim, so we need to know what we can build off of. Is the Earth
There's
accelerating or constant?
certain tests that we've done to suggest that it's a constant, but like I
So
said, I
then-
can't be 100%
Okay,
on
constant,
that.
great. So if it's constant, you do understand that everything will not have this. It will have displacement without the constant. Let's say you take a Porsche. Well, what are you probably like a Nissan GTR or something, and you accelerate, let's say, from 0 to 200 kilometers an hour. You feel it pushes you back in that seat. But now, let's say you just keep it 200 kilometers an hour, not accelerating, you keep it a constant. Is it pushing you back towards your seat?
No, you're defaulting towards the constant vector.
Wait, great. So if the Earth is at a constant upwards motion, why would you expect that to be the cause for displacement if it's not going to show cause for displacement in a car showing constant?
Displacement from what?
When you accelerate, you would agree there shows displacement when I start moving, so it's pushing me towards the back because I have a resistance to inertia.
I understand what you're saying, but
Okay,
you're talking
great.
you're
But
talking
now-
about competing with a constant vector.
Listen, so when I show I have resistance to inertia, this is physics, it's pushing me back towards the seat. But as soon as I'm in a constant speed with the car, let's say 200 kilometers an hour, I'm not pushed back towards the seat anymore. I'm moving at the same pace with the seat. The air inside the cabin, everything is just normal as it would be me sitting in a parking lot, correct?
Your weight goes back to being orientated down.
Great.
Yes.
So if your Earth is at a constant going upwards, why would you expect it to give you displacement then?
Because you're falsely equating creating a new vector versus
No.
creating.
That was your guys' claim. That's the reason for the vector, is the acceleration. Now, if you don't
Yeah,
have
and
an
I just tried to
acceleration...
explain it to you
So-
until you cut me off. It's a false equivalence fallacy.
Sorry, but isn't that what Mr. your beloved Dell has been explaining to us? Let me accelerate a water bottle in a car, therefore your displacement, and then you said, yeah, let's turn it vertical. So Earth is moving upwards, so accelerating, so it gives us the displacement, correct?
Like I said, false equivalence fallacy.
No, it's taking your actual claim, and pushing it back in your face and saying, poppycock, you don't understand physics.
You're equating competing with a constant vector versus competing with what? Do you understand what I'm saying?
A constant vector doesn't give your displacement as you want it to. It would hide.
It obviously
has
does.
to be staying accelerating.
It obviously does.
Oh, really? Okay, show me a constant giving displacement, please.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you're equating competing with a vector you're equating competing with a horizontal vector versus a vertical vector versus what is the movement of what vector does the movement of Earth have to compete with?
So we can tell Dell then his so-called demonstrations or experiments of him accelerating a car with a water bottle is a false equivalence then.
Dell acknowledges, first of all, Dell acknowledges that when you have to use acceleration to outcompete the current vector, the current down vector.
Great, so you guys are certainly reasoning then. You're already assuming there's a current down vector which is caused by acceleration. Therefore,
no, there's no assumption there. There is a down vector. There is a down vector.
Great, so
and the necessary antecedent is motion. That's not an assumption.
No, it's not. I debunked that with the cause and effect by showing an experiment where I changed the density. The egg accelerated.
Reification.
No, the egg.
Yes.
And the water was stationary. And when you change the density, the egg accelerated. Okay? There's no assumption with anything there. It's literally observed. I'm looking at it on the table. My table's definitely not moving anywhere. The egg is not moving anywhere. And I changed the density of the medium. The egg accelerated. You making a claim that it is accelerating already is the burden onto you. Now I'm asking you, how do you come with that claim if you are throwing the only demonstration you've had away?
How do you deduce that your table isn't going anywhere when what do you expect to see? Your table flying up away from you? You're a part of the same reference frame that it is, Flatzoid. So when you keep saying, "Oh, my table isn't moving," I mean that's a baseless assertion. It's your reification.
Okay, so let's say I go to the sky and I fly in an aeroplane and I observe that same table down on the ground and I see the same thing happening. Anthony's standing there, his sticks put some salt, he's changed the density of the medium, the egg accelerated upwards. I wasn't on the same reference frame, was I? And yet I saw the same thing. Did that house and the egg and everything come rise up to meet me?
And if that plane stopped exerting lift on the air below it, you would see it come up to meet you. Yes.
You do
if that plane stopped go ahead. I was just going to repeat what I said. Go ahead.
It's just simple Bernoulli's principle, mate. That's how a plane operates with Bernoulli's principle. It's got nothing to do with an accelerating up Earth. Just has to let you know that.
No, the plane has to continuously exert force on the air below it to stay
great. And
elevated.
What? And let's put it this way:
if it stopped exerting that force, then yes, absolutely, you would observe that table come up to meet you.
Okay, and is it harder for a plane to fly the higher it goes up where the air is thinner? Does it need to increase its velocity to be able to stay at a certain altitude the higher they go up?
You're just helping my point.
No, do they have to increase their velocity on a horizontal, correct? To go up where the air is thinner.
Mm-hmm.
So relative density disequilibrium.
Yeah, I mean, Flatzoid.
The plane is denser than the medium around it. Everything has different accelerative forces attributed. In other words, if an object has more mass, it has more resistance to inertia. Correct? This is proven, observed. Correct? So you claiming that the Earth is rising to meet it means that everything in free fall doesn't have mass, so therefore doesn't accelerate, correct?
Oh man, what are you even talking about?
I'm talking about trying to educate you on the most basic fundamentals of inertia, because you clearly don't understand displacement or inertia, and you want to claim things like we have an upward constant rising Earth causing displacement. So I have to literally take you to grade school to teach you the simple basics of physics. Do you know what resistance to inertia is?
Yes.
What's resistance to inertia?
It's in objects' second or first law of motion.
It's just simply the resistance to. If you have to create a force, something with more mass, you have to push it with more force to be able to move it. Correct?
Uh-huh.
Great. So if I have two different masses in the sky, and you're saying the Earth is rising to meet them, they are not accelerating, is the Earth pushing up on them with different amounts of force? Oh, it's gone. Hammer, I think he's gone, mate. Well, while he's gone, then I'm just going to quickly read my super chat. Is that fine? Hammer? Okay, anyway. Lumpy Gas Vacuum, thank you very much for your $5 super chat, mate. Good job, Flatzoid. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it, mate. And then Face Reality, thank you very much for your $2 super chat. If TV didn't exist, nobody would say Earth is moving. That's also true, because they get indoctrinated to this. And then Faciality, thank you very much for your $2 super chat. Earth is moving as fast as a parked car is. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you for the super chats. Really appreciate all the support. I don't know how to explain it to this guy. The guy's making claims and then wants me to have the burden. It just doesn't work that way. The guy claims constant and then still wants to have accelerative physics to it. You can't have accelerative physics if you're claiming a constant. That's where Raichi at least has a one-up on these guys. Raichi understands you're required to be accelerating constantly. So yeah, this, I don't know what happened. Hammer, are you still around, mate? I don't know if he's around. It's like I'm talking to a wall now.
I'm here. Give me.
Okay. I think he fell out. I'm not sure what happened. Exactly what? Bernoulli's principle. It's causing the wing to low pressure, high pressure to low pressure to pull the plane up. No, but that's, I mean, you guys saw my thumbnail. What was he, how arrogant the guy was. He's no quarters hold. When he came, it's like, you're going to be obliterated, you don't know what you're talking about. The guy doesn't even know what displacement is, doesn't know what inertia is, doesn't understand what the difference between constant acceleration, and then threw literally all Dell's arguments out the window. And then just that circular reasoning saying, Earth is rising up because I believe it's rising up because the egg on the table. So yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that, dude. You guys are going.
No stress. I don't know if he just fell out or just left.
Oh no, here he is. I think he just
okay, it's back.
Out. Here he's back.
Oh, okay, it's back.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, heard you now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I don't know. I dropped out for some reason. We're getting some weather here where I'm at, so I don't know if that has something to do with it. Sorry about that.
No stress.
All good.
So yeah, Flatzoid. You're talking about inertia.
Mm-hmm.
And how a different force is required to move a different mass, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, you would agree that in a water bottle, the liquid itself requires a force to move it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the bottle holding that liquid is a different mass from the liquid, so it's going to require a different force to move it, correct?
No, because the water's inside the bottle, so its net force would be the same.
Okay, so there's a force that's ignoring the container and just moving the water down.
No, let's
Is
put
that
this
what you're
way.
saying?
No, let's put this way. If you take an empty bottle and stick it on a scale, it gives a reading. Now, if you stick the liquid inside that empty bottle, it would give a different reading now because you got the liquid and the bottle's weight together now. So it has a net force together. You understand?
Yeah, you realize weight isn't a force in and of itself, right?
It's just pressure. Weight is just simply the pressure exerted on a scale. That's how it's a unit measure.
Yeah, so weight is the result. Weight is caused by a force.
Yeah, because the object is denser than the air around it. So it causes a pressure on the scale, which gives a unit measure. Correct.
Okay. So yeah, we're just going in circles with the density thing, which you can't explain directionality.
I just did.
So
I just did. You just
Flatzoid.
agreed with me that the bottle exerts a force on the scale. Why? Because it's denser than the area around it. You, on the other hand, gave the burden of proof for saying the Earth is accelerating, which is causing that force. So you're saying the scale is the thing forcing on top of that bottle, correct? You say
Yeah,
the
weight is caused by a force.
Great. So would this be constant?
And how would you demonstrate a force, Flatzoid?
So would this be constant or accelerating?
How would you demonstrate a force?
Would this be constant or accelerating, JC?
How would you
I'm
demonstrate
not moving
a force?
on from your burden. You haven't
Yeah, of course
provided
you're
your
not going to
evidence.
answer it.
You haven't.
You know why? Because the answer is motion. The answer is motion. You demonstrate a force with motion.
And all the objects are always in motion. That's why when it's called static, you understand what static means. It's still actually in motion. It just has a zero net force.
Yeah, go ahead.
Great. So again, your burden is claiming the Earth is rising. So go and provide evidence that the Earth is rising. That's what I asked you in the beginning. Do you accept if it's accelerating or constant, because they both have their problems? Now you're saying it's constant. So therefore you can't claim your gradient, dispersion gradients, because if it's constant, it's not going to give your vector.
Well, like I said, it's a false equivalence fallacy, but I also
Why is it a
never
false
said that
equivalence
it's constant. I said there's some tests that you could do to see that seems to indicate constant, but at the end of the day, I don't know what it's doing exactly because I can't leave the Earth to find out.
Great. So I can take
it's
on the basis.
speculation.
So I can take on the basis I know it's stationary, where you don't know it's moving. So you don't have anything to base your assertion on, and you want to project it onto me because you can't provide evidence for your burden. Got it?
No, you don't know it's stationary.
Your claim that it's stationary.
Your claim that it's stationary is a reification fallacy.
No. How do you give a Okay, I'm sitting here.
Yep,
Can
you have
you
weight and direction.
Great. Am I accelerating?
You have weight and direction. There's
Am I
motion at play.
accelerating? Am I accelerating?
Like I said, you have weight
listen.
and direction.
Okay, the egg on the
Motion
table.
is required.
The egg on the table in the water is staying where it is. I change the density, the egg accelerates. Okay? You understand what just happened here?
Yeah, we've gone over this like 5 times, Flatzoid.
Great, because
we're
I
not
have
going
to.
to get anywhere.
Because you cannot accept.
Set two inanimate objects on your table.
Listen.
Yeah, wave your hands around all you want. Set two inanimate objects on your table.
JC, listen. Your claim
The
is
the downward vector is set that as a constant
listen,
and get those
JC,
two objects to
listen,
exert
JC,
weight on
listen,
each other.
JC. Your claim is only acceleration causes acceleration. I go and show an experiment that shows changing the density of a static object caused
By
the egg
reifying your presupposition.
I didn't reify anything.
Yes,
It's
you did.
on the table. There's an egg. There's water. Nothing's happened. It's just floating around where it is. I claim now, if I change the density, the egg will accelerate. So therefore I go and change the density of the medium or the egg. Doesn't matter. The egg accelerated. Tell me where I said anything about a stationary Earth or a moving Earth or anything, or did I just prove, without a doubt, density caused a stationary object to accelerate?
When it's being supported by an upward force.
So an acceleration doesn't just cause an acceleration then?
Your motion within your experiment only happens when it's being supported by an upward force. Because when you take that system and you drop it, and the air below it can't support it, what happens to that motion, Flatzoid?
Let's put it this way. So when you make something denser,
we're going to obfuscate. Yep.
When you make something denser, does it add more pressure onto the system? It gives more weight, correct?
When you make something denser that's on the Earth.
How do I explain this in very simple terms? Let's say you have a canister and you put some air into there. And now we go and I stick some rocks. And I fill that canister up with rocks, but the air's still inside there. The air is starting to, let's say, compress together now, because air can compress because the space between them gets smaller, correct? Because the volume is getting smaller. You would agree with that?
Okay.
And those rocks pushing up against the air to compress it is creating a larger and larger force, forcing the air to move closer to one another. Correct?
Yeah, go on.
So, are those rocks accelerating or are they staying static? But the more I add of them, the more force is exerted in that confinement of space.
Yeah, the only reason they have weight is because they're being pressed on.
Stop being a glober. Stop being a circular reason glober. Yeah, I'm giving you actual, how can I play, explaining it in actual physical terms that shows it's not just acceleration that causes acceleration. I've shown you with experiment an egg can accelerate just by changing the medium. I've shown you with experiment I can let go of a helium balloon, it accelerates up, away from your accelerating Earth. You have the burden by claiming the Earth is rising. You make the claim that this table, which is static, it's not moving, it's observed not to be moving, everything on it is observed not to be moving, is moving. You are the one with the burden to prove, not me. The circular reasoning and assuming nonsense comes from your side. So you go and prove that everything is accelerating up instead of projecting it onto me. It's your burden.
Okay, are you done?
Yeah, because it's your burden.
Yeah. I've already explained it to you several times. We're just going in circles, Flatzoid.
You can explain all you want. You haven't provided evidence for your claims. Trying to push
You don't
the
have
burden.
any evidence. You don't have any evidence of equal acceleration. That goes explaining. You were just literally just now explaining inertia, and yet you.
Guys, this is a cup. Please tell me this is accelerating upwards. Oh, where's my... Is anybody seeing this cup accelerate upwards right now? Can you see that cup accelerating upwards, JC?
I see that.
Or how about that bottle?
I see that it has weight and direction, Flatzoid.
Okay. How about this? Is it accelerating upwards?
I see that it has weight and direction, which motion requires.
No, false. If I stick liquid into here, and it's denser than the object, and that liquid causes the object to accelerate, did the acceleration of the liquid cause it, or the displacement due to the density ratio? I'm waiting. You making the positive claim that it's accelerating upwards. So, prove it. This is what happens when you push globe rhetoric, mate. You got nowhere to hide.
You're all over the place.
How am I all over the place? I'm telling you,
How
I'm sitting
how would
static
you
right
see
now.
the
I'm
cup
observing it.
accelerating up if you're moving up with it, Flatzoid? How would you see that?
Because I'm not making the burden that it is accelerating.
Yeah, so stop making red herrings, stop making non sequiturs, and just
Great. So you
and
have the
address your claim.
Great. So you
address
have
your special pleading fallacy that objects accelerate down at the same rate. Show
Great.
your demonstrate
Okay.
demonstrate your mechanism of motion. Manipulate and demonstrate it.
Okay, listen. Again, I
No.
am sitting here. You would agree you don't see me accelerating. Just like that cup with the egg and the water, you don't observe it accelerating, correct?
I see that you have weight and direction, and motion
That's
is
not what I
required
want.
for that.
That's not what I asked.
No,
Do
you want to
ob-
keep running
do
away
you-
from the point
listen,
that motion
do
is
you-
the necessary antecedent.
Listen. Do you observe it to be accelerating? Is that a no? You
No, give
don't
me a
observe
second.
it.
Give me a second here. I'm pulling up another. Give me a second.
So that's a no, you don't observe it to accelerate. So the burden is on you to provide that it is accelerating. It's not my burden, it's you because you're going against what we observe.
Flatzoid, you have a vector. Motion is the necessary antecedent to a vector.
False. I just
Okay,
provided the proof for that by
you're
doing an egg
ignoring
experiment.
that is the same thing as ignoring. That gas pressure requires a container. It's a necessary antecedent relationship.
Listen,
So if you're going to ignore that, then you
the-
might as well just ignore that gas pressure requires a container.
You
It's the
are
same thing.
ignoring it by when I let go of a helium balloon. What caused the helium balloon to accelerate?
It's buoyant. It's being displaced
not
by the
acceleration.
air.
So not acceleration caused acceleration. Your argument's done for. Thank you, JC.
Yeah, once again, you're just going back to reifying your position.
You just literally
Of
said
stationary
what caused
direction.
it. You literally just told me acceleration was caused by the density, not the acceleration causing acceleration. So you just threw your own argument in the dustbin.
Flatzoid, I don't know what you don't understand about density and buoyancy. Density and buoyancy exist, but only when a force is being exerted on it. A force is being exerted on the medium that is displacing the balloon, Flatzoid. What are you not understanding about that?
Your claim was only an acceleration can cause an acceleration. I said, let me let go of a helium balloon, it goes up. What caused the acceleration of that helium balloon? Oh, the density and buoyancy, not acceleration. So therefore your acceleration only cause acceleration is by your own admission falsified.
Yeah, Flatzoid.
So therefore, I do not need to go into your Narnia land and say I need an accelerating Earth to show it accelerating, because you just conceded it's bogus.
Flatzoid, the medium that displaced the balloon up is being pressed on.
So not acceleration of the Earth.
Oh,
then.
jeez. Yes, it's accelerating.
Where?
The medium that's displacing the balloon up is also being itself pushed up.
Great. So
It's being
you
pressed
made that
on.
claim. So you're making that claim. So prove it.
No, it's demonstrable. It's
No,
demonstrable.
no, it's not.
When
What
there's
was the
nothing
cause-
to press, when there's nothing to compress a medium, there's no buoyant force.
I'm sorry. So
That's demonstrable.
So what causes the buoyant force? You're saying acceleration of reference frame.
Compression of the medium. Compression of the medium.
So not acceleration then.
What's compressing the medium, Flatzoid?
The density ratios.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, guys, I can't argue with idiots. I'm going to say it right out, JC. You are an idiot. Because it's a fact.
Okay, yeah.
You cannot accept that you just literally contradicted your own statements many times now and telling me I need to tell you why it's not accelerating when it's your burden to prove.
Right. Hurl insults, Flatzoid, because you
It's
can't
not an
demonstrate
insult
your
if
claims.
it's a fact. It's not an
Your
insult
claim
if it's
goes,
a fact.
hey, are you going to let me talk? I let you talk. Shut up.
I'm not even saying anything.
You said you let me get 3 words out and then you cut me off. So shut up and let me say what I'm going to say.
I'm still
Understand?
not saying anything.
Okay, Flatzoid, you're resorting to hurling insults now because you can't demonstrate your claims. You have a claim of equal acceleration. I've already shown you how that your claim defies physics. There's no such thing as equal acceleration. That's what accelerometers rely on to detect acceleration. Accelerometers rely on unequal acceleration in order to detect an acceleration. Your special pleading fallacy that there's this special circumstance that only works when you drop something. Okay, now what I need you to do to validate that claim that defies physics is manipulate and demonstrate your mechanism of motion.
I just did.
Manipulate and demonstrate your mechanism that accelerates something evenly with no displacement. Go for it. I'm waiting.
What? You just said...
Do they speak English and what?
No, I can't talk. Listen, you just made...
Okay, go for it.
You told me manipulate to show an acceleration from stationary. Egg experiment. We've been through this many times. Now, you already claimed that things do not accelerate at the same rate when in free fall, correct? That's what you claimed. It's a simple yes or no.
They can't.
Great.
There's no such thing as equal acceleration.
So when you drop an accelerometer and it shows 0g, is everything accelerating at the same rate or not at the same rate? JC?
It's not accelerating. The accelerometer doesn't detect acceleration because it's not accelerating, Flatzoid.
Ah, great. So
mind blown, right?
So if you have 2 accelerometers falling together, they would both give the same reading, correct?
When they're falling, they read 0 because they're not accelerating.
Great. So when you have your demonstration you brought up earlier, falling showing acceleration at different rates, that means they are accelerating then? Because they were not at the same rate. Uh-oh.
Come back with that. I lost you.
When you showed your demonstration of saying, look, things don't accelerate at the same rate when falling, it shows acceleration then because they accelerating towards the ground at different rates, JC.
Accelerating is always unequal. You can't accelerate equally under the same mechanism.
Towards the ground?
Correct. In any direction.
So when Dell claims free fall doesn't have acceleration, you just go against that. You do know that.
What are you talking about?
So there is acceleration towards the ground then?
When you push it towards the ground, correct.
At different rates?
Yes, acceleration causes displacement.
At different rates?
Acceleration causes displacement.
It's a yes or no. At different rates?
Acceleration causes displacement.
I don't know. You guys have some kind of issue understanding what the yes or no question is. At different rates, a yes or no question.
When you push something towards the ground, yes, there will be different rates.
Great. So I'm accelerating towards the ground, and it shows different
displacement.
So it shows displacement accelerating towards the ground at different rates. So therefore, not Earth rising to cause the accelerator values.
When you push something down, you're causing the acceleration, Flatzoid.
Sorry, how do you push something down when it is claimed when it's going down, it's not moving?
You push something down by pushing it down. I don't understand what you're trying to get at here.
So it's not the Earth
I don't know.
moving
I'm
then.
not sure if we're talking past each other here. Is what I'm telling you, Flatzoid.
It's very simple.
When you push something down, you're pushing it down.
Great. So it's not the accelerating Earth then. Your apparatus goes totally against what Dell and Co. is claiming.
Red herring. I have no clue what you're talking about.
You want to bring
when
you
you
want to
push
bring
something down, therefore you suddenly don't have a weight in direction.
which
Like,
direction?
what are you talking
which
about?
direction did those things accelerate towards? When you accelerated it down to the ground, which direction did all those things accelerate towards, JC?
Down. When you pushed it down, yes.
So the direction, the vector that was forcing it down, everything was going.
Okay.
So not going.
What are you talking about? When you push something down with liquid, the liquid does fly up. That's what happens with acceleration.
And the bubble went where?
The bubble went down.
Great. Do you understand the issue here?
I think you're the one who has a problem understanding something, Flatzoid. I like you're acting like, oh, I got you now, but
What is the argument? Under free fall towards Earth, there is no displacement. You come and show displacement from an object going towards Earth.
being actually accelerated towards Earth.
Okay, now if there was a so-called force, okay, being acting towards a denser object with more mass, in other words, would that mean because you're accelerating it down to Earth, it would have extra force pushing on that mass compared to the lighter bubble?
The most dense object, if you're accelerating a container down, the most dense object would be the first thing to fly up and resist your force. That's the third law of motion.
Inertia, resistance to inertia.
Mm-hmm.
Do
Which
you
is
see
not
what's
present.
going on here?
Yeah, I do. These physics that we're talking about that are not present when you claim something's accelerating towards Earth, that's what I see happening.
While you're showing it happening. Congratulations. I don't know how to make it plain to this guy. He's literally showing against what he's claiming, guys.
What am I claiming, Flatzoid? Like we're somewhere here. You got lost somewhere in the weeds here.
No. Again, I'm going to go back to prove the Earth is accelerating. You go and bring a demonstration showing it's not accelerating.
Do you want me to try? Could I try asking a couple questions about like the previous exchange, maybe, to see if you guys are on the same page? Because I think he was saying you guys may be talking past each other.
Yeah, I don't like
when you're talking about rate, like when you're saying things accelerate at the same rate. Flatzoid, are you referring to the 9.81 meters per second squared in a vacuum?
No, I'm saying it's observed when you drop a water bottle in freefall, everything inside that water bottle is forced to go down at the same rate. So because of the resistance to inertia, they all have the same net force of the bottle falling downwards, which is shown. Doesn't mean their densities have changed. That just means they can't. One can't displace more force on the other because they're all going same vector at the same rate. Now he comes and brings, look, let's take a bungee and force that bottle to go faster down. So in other words, giving it momentum, yeah, conservation of momentum, mate, the resistance to inertia, and see, ooh, it's showing displacement to the ground. So therefore, things going to the ground shows not the Earth rising up to cause the displacement. It's simply just the density and resistance to inertia. It's momentum. It's all it's showing.
And so in that example you're talking about with water in a water bottle, would there be a difference? You're saying everything in that water bottle itself is falling at the same rate.
At
But
free
would
fall,
there be a
when it's at
difference
free fall, but on his demonstration, he's forcing everything in that water bottle to accelerate. Okay, so it's like just like when you accelerate in a car, if you got more mass, it requires more force to push you, so you have more resistance to inertia. So in other words, if you have more mass, it takes more force to push you. So you want to stay behind while it's pushing because of the momentum of the bottle. So that bottle that he gave, the momentum is forced to push down. So the liquid that has more resistance to inertia than the air, the bubble, it get pushed to the top of the bubble while it's going down, okay? Now note, this is caused by the acceleration. He's claiming everything is a constant, not acceleration. So therefore it would have to be just like everything is.
Flatzoid,
I'm still
I didn't
talking.
claim
I'm
that.
still talking. Yes, you said constant. Now
Well,
imagine.
I'm not going to let
You can
stop me.
clarify. You can definitely clarify
Okay.
when he's done.
Yeah.
I'll let
Okay,
him clarify
all right.
for
But
sure.
now this is when a thing go in free fall, it will go and it will be accelerating, but as soon as it reaches terminal velocity, it will reach out in its densities again. Why? Because it's at free fall. It's not having that conservation at all the resistance to inertia anymore. Everything is staying the same. It's as simple as that. But they want to claim it's accelerative Earth that causes this and say, oh, relative density doesn't work in free fall, when it still does, not understanding that there's things called resistance to inertia. It's still got to keep by physics. Now, yeah, he did claim constant unless he wants to backtrack on that and say, no, it is acceleration.
No,
I just for my own personal reason, I apologize cutting you off there. Maybe I shouldn't. I have some more questions about that, but yeah, please clarify, JC. I apologize.
Yeah, I said that there's some terminal velocity tests that seem to indicate a uniform motion, but I can't 100% confirm that. Okay, at the end of the day, you can't leave the Earth and look at the Earth from the outside in to see what it's doing. You don't. On top of that, we don't know the exact conditions outside of the Earth. So, like I said, I'm not definitively claiming a specific motion. I'm just claiming motion.
Okay.
And I mean, I don't know if you were able to follow any of that, Hammer, but Flatzoid seems to spend a lot of time explaining how there's a special kind of acceleration that's just different because reasons. It's accelerating, but it's not showing any of these signs that we always observe when we accelerate something. Like in the car, when the car accelerates forward, you get pushed back. You feel like you're pushed back, but it's actually the car pushing against you. You understand why that's called a fictitious force, right, Flatzoid?
Well, you guys are introducing, if I may, and actually, Flatzoid, if you'd like to answer that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I just want to quickly break it down to very simple. Okay, yeah, that fictitious force, okay, is what you guys are claiming for your accelerating Earth or constant or whatever you want to, because you want to hold both values. Now, I just want to break it down as a statement to try and see if you understand. There's two claims on the table, okay? Only acceleration causes acceleration. That's the two claims. Only acceleration causes acceleration, and the other one is the density ratio can cause acceleration. Now we can do experiment to prove one or the other. Now the experiment with the egg and the water, I changed the density, the egg accelerated. There was no showing the accelerator frame of reference moving whatsoever. Now you have to take the position that, no, everything is already accelerating. It's already moving. Okay? That is your burden then, not me. I didn't claim that it's moving up. I literally showed you hypothesis. The cause for effect. Okay, I showed. If I change the density, I will see the egg accelerate. That's it. So therefore, I changed the density, the egg accelerated. What we did observe, a stationary table, a stationary egg, a stationary everything. It's stationary. We're not moving. You making the argument, let's take that same thing and now accelerate it or drop it in the air where it's no more static, that you just showed it to be static, and expect the same results, is not just a non sequitur, it's idiotic and foolish. Because no one claimed you would have the same effect if it's free falling. Okay? The reason we don't see the same thing when free falling is because of resistance to inertia. It's moving. The whole bottle with everything inside it is moving. When it's sitting on the table, it's not moving. You are doing a total 180 and claiming it is moving when we don't observe it to be moving. So the burden is not on me to say, let me prove it's stationary when that's what we observe. You have to prove that it's not stationary. And when I ask you, okay, prove it. Oh, let me take an accelerating car. And then claim, no, it's constant. And what really bothers me is you guys don't want to take a stance on anything. When you get cornered into something, you just say, oh no, I don't really know what it is, but I think it could be this. So we can't go outside of Earth to...
Flatzoid, you're scattergunning, man. Are you done with your monologue?
This is getting triggered. So when you claim you're going out, you can't go outside of Earth...
Well,
you are literally going.
Hammer, is scattergunning quite a bit.
No, I'm giving a.
You're ranting.
I'm giving a conclusion of what's going on here. So when
he's trying to wrap it up.
Yeah.
He was going a little off with the commentary there, but I think he's wrapping it up.
Little off? No, not off. The guy is literally making claims and not backing up his burden. He's trying to put the burden onto me. So when he claims you can't go out of Earth to prove his idiotic nonsense, he's literally doing what the globe does and says, I can't see Earth spinning, but I know it's spinning because they tell me it's spinning. Now he's saying, I see in a car things accelerate, so therefore your table's accelerating. It's the same idiotic nonsense. So I'm going to say again, your burden, prove it.
Jeez. Okay, so it's funny how you talk about different masses having having different resistance to inertia, when if you drop the egg experiment, they all display to have the same resistance to inertia because they all move equally in lockstep with one another, which is a clear violation of physics. So again, we're back to this special pleading fallacy that there's this different thing that happens when you drop something. It's special. It's acceleration, but it's not acceleration. It doesn't behave like any other acceleration that you could demonstrate. Any acceleration that you could manipulate and demonstrate will cause the egg, the buoyant object, to move in the direction that you're accelerating it, and the liquid to move against the direction that you're accelerating it. That's physics, Flatzoid. That's repeatable, demonstrable physics. But now when you drop it and you claim that it's accelerating towards Earth, you're saying, oh no, it's special. There's inertia and impulse and all of this good stuff, all these words and feelings. Nothing that you could actually demonstrate, my man. Nothing that you could manipulate and demonstrate. Now, the only motion I'm actually claiming is a buoyant motion. Guess what? We could manipulate it and demonstrate it in any direction you want. We could make buoyant objects go down using motion. We could make buoyant objects go to the side using motion. Why can't you manipulate and demonstrate this claimed acceleration with no displacement? Why can't you manipulate it in any other direction? All you could do is reify your presupposition. Just like Neil Tyson dropping the microphone and saying, see, it's because there's mass attracting mass. What's the difference between your claims and that? Like, explain it to me. What's the difference? You're saying different words. That's the only difference that I could hear right now.
Okay.
Demonstrate it.
Again, if I take a anvil and I drop it in mercury, it floats.
Okay.
Great. If I take a rock and throw it in water, it sinks.
Flatzoid, what does this have to do with you demonstrating equal acceleration?
Okay.
You're
now
obfuscating.
I take an anvil and a rock and throw them into the mercury. They both float, correct?
You're obfuscating. Demonstrate your mechanism that accelerates
you want me to,
objects
I have to
equally.
literally do this like I would talk to a baby because this is so simple.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah, hey, we're going nowhere, man.
when I
And this
drop-
has been over
when I-
2 hours. He
when I-
can't demonstrate what his
Why
claims
is he
are.
talking over
It's
me?
very clear.
Why is he talking over me? Stop projecting. You haven't given me anything for your burden. Now, if I put it in mercury, the rock
Well, you
and the
did tell
anvil...
him it was like talking to a baby.
It is, yeah. Putting
It's a
it
little
in
degrading.
well, it's the truth. It is, because my 7-year-old daughter will understand easier than this guy's understanding. So it's facts. I will call the guy an idiot
so he's
because an
resorting
idiot.
to ad homs now,
So
Hammer.
if I stick a rock and an anvil in mercury, they both float. If I stick a rock and an anvil in water, do they accelerate at different rates to the bottom of, let's say, the ocean floor? JC? Do they accelerate at different rates to the bottom of the ocean floor? A rock and an anvil.
It's your claim, Flatzoid. You demonstrate it.
I'm sorry, you're telling me I don't understand physics, but I'm literally dumbing it down so much that children know what's the answer is going to be. That would be a yes, JC. Now, explain to me, if it was the Earth causing that displacement while it was the Earth rising to meet that anvil and rock dropped in the water, okay? Why would they have difference in acceleration?
Because of the medium that's moving through them.
So relative density then, not the accelerating Earth.
No one denies relative density, Flatzoid. I'm not saying relative density doesn't exist. It only works when it's being supported by an upward force.
Again, you having circular reasoning based on the equivalence principle is a globe rhetoric bullshit nonsense claim because you can't go out of Earth to make this so-called extraordinary claim. We do not observe movement where we are, so the claim is not on me to prove it's not moving. The claim is on you to prove it is moving. And when I ask you to prove it, you just tell me how. I can't go out of Earth.
Okay, so you notice how Flatzoid did not demonstrate a contained object with liquids and gases accelerating at the same rate. That's his claim for stationary Earth. That's what you need to have happen for stationary Earth. And when I asked you to demonstrate it, you went off into a tangent. You went off into obfuscation about, anvils and rocks, they fall differently through water. That has to do with the medium that's moving up past them. The medium could resist some things more than it can others. That's got nothing to do with whether the object is falling or if it's the medium moving up past them, Flatzoid. What part of that are you failing to understand?
Okay, do you want to do this scientifically then? You want to take both claims, we can do it scientifically. How's that sound? We go through the scientific method.
You're gonna reify your presupposition again.
We go your claim scientifically, my claim scientifically. Want to do that?
Yeah, let's start with the cause and effect of acceleration. Let's start with that.
No.
And let's see whose claim goes against science.
Cause and effect of acceleration, force.
Okay. I have a screen to share again here.
Okay. Because we understand F equals ma. Very simple stuff.
No, I'm going to do this one more time, Flatzoid. I'm asking
we're
you.
going to do the sign. No, we're not going to circle jerk again. I'm going to hold your toes to the fire like I've been trying this whole time. We're doing it scientifically now. You want to claim yours to be... Oh no, please don't put accelerate, because what's he doing?
Hey.
Is this science or a demonstration of a guy not understanding conservation of momentum?
That's called a demonstration of the mechanism of motion.
Of conservation of momentum. I'm telling you, let's show science. We do this using the scientific method.
Okay, you see the buoyant object? You see the buoyant object, how it moves in the direction of motion?
Conservation of momentum.
I don't care what words you want to use, Flatzoid.
Conservation of momentum. Resistance to inertia.
Yeah, not present in free fall for some reason because of your words.
Is he letting it free fall right now? Or is he shaking
No,
a water bottle horizontal? Is he shaking a water bottle horizontal now? Or vertical?
You see how the buoyant object moves in the direction of motion?
Yes, because
Okay,
of
Flatzoid.
buoyancy. But now again, we're doing the scientific. What is your scientific hypothesis and experiment for rising Earth?
That's called manipulating and demonstrating the mechanism of motion.
No. First,
Why can't
what
you
is
do the same with your equal acceleration? Why can't you do it?
First, what's observed phenomena?
Now, Flatzoid, I'm not. It's
What
been
is
over
observed-
2 hours, man. I'm not
This is
playing
gonna
your
be quick.
game.
This is gonna be quick.
Either
This is gonna
demonstrate
be
it or
quick.
admit you can't.
Run away, yeah. What's
No,
the
I'm
observed
not running
phenomena?
away.
What's observed
You're trying
phenomena?
to obfuscate,
What's
and you're
observed-
resorting to
No,
ad-homs.
it has been a good conversation.
What's
It's
observed
been
phenomena?
almost 2 hours.
Yeah,
we
but
can
we
always
finish
come
it.
back. We can always come back.
No,
if we
I want to
need
just finish this.
You know what I mean?
What's observed phenomena? Then we can finish. Just what is your... We just want to take this through the scientific method, then we'll see what's for what. What is your observed phenomena?
I'm not claiming a scientific hypothesis, Flatzoid.
You just did. You said that on screen. Said, therefore, look, we're manipulating the independent variable. So, what is your observed
what
phenomena?
independent variable did I say we're manipulating?
Acceleration is the independent variable. That's your claim.
I said we're demonstrating a mechanism of motion.
So,
I don't
what
subscribe to your FED cults.
What is your
you know,
observed phenomena?
demon-
What is your observed phenomena? You're claiming the Earth is accelerating, so that's all. We have to observe this phenomena, correct? What is the observed phenomena for your claim, JC?
Flatzoid, can you demonstrate equal acceleration? Can
What
you manipulate and
is
demonstrate it?
your claim?
We're not going anywhere until you could manipulate and demonstrate
Run away,
equal
coward.
acceleration
Run away,
in
coward.
lockstep.
I can scientifically validate and prove my claim. You can't. Hence why
No,
you
you
have to
can't.
run and obfuscate like a coward you are.
No, I'm asking you to demonstrate
Observe
your
phenomena.
mechanism of motion.
Observe
That's
phenomena.
not running away.
Hammer,
That's
please.
holding your feet to the fire.
Hammer, get him to just answer observe phenomena. It's not difficult.
I've asked him to demonstrate equal acceleration in lockstep. He went on rambling about resistance to inertia and how different masses have different resistance to inertia.
Which you agreed.
But then he has a claim that completely flies in the face of that.
No, it doesn't.
How are you not
So-
getting that, Flatzoid?
So do you earlier when I was asking him kind of about the acceleration and the rate of how things fall, do you feel like I was getting close to? Is that somewhere where you guys are sort of maybe like you were saying, talking past each other?
No, there's no talking past. The guy's being dishonest. I'm asking him because he's making a direct, very big claim. The Earth is the cause. The accelerating Earth is the cause. Well, the moving Earth, as he puts it, is the cause for our density gradients, the reason why things gradiate towards they do. Now I'm asking him, let's put this through the scientific method then. So, what do I get in return? I'm part of a FED cult or whatever. No, it's the scientific method. You have to have an observed phenomena if you want to make a claim the Earth is causing things to happen. So what is your observed cause? Observed phenomena. That's all I'm asking. We'll put both our claims through the scientific method and we'll see which one can be proven. Is this fair or not? Is it fair?
It sounds fair.
Yeah.
The thing about, I do think something. JC, I would definitely like your input on this with the acceleration thing.
Look, like I said, this has been over 2 hours, and I've asked him several times. He has a claim with the stationary Earth. If the Earth is stationary, then an object with liquids and gases in it must accelerate towards the Earth in lockstep, with the water not displacing up towards the top of the bottle, which is what you observe every time you accelerate something.
Okay.
I've asked him to manipulate and demonstrate this mechanism of motion several times, and the only thing he does is obfuscate away from the point.
Okay.
This last time he says, "Okay, so when you drop a rock in water, does it do this and do that?" I don't want that. I don't want your obfuscation, Flatzoid. I want you to address the point. I want you to address your
I've
claim and
addressed it.
demonstrate
I don't know how much
you
times
can't
I said
do it. That's why you keep distracting and diverting away from the point.
Okay, first of all,
So we're not going anywhere.
First of all, you've made claims on what should happen if it's stationary. That's your claim.
No,
Also,
it's
your
what
burden.
does happen.
No,
It's what does happen.
Listen, you make the claim. What should or shouldn't happen is your claim. Now, again, you claim Earth is rising. Put it through the scientific method, just like I'm going to put mine through the scientific method, and we'll see what comes out. Okay,
You're gonna recite your egg experiment with that's a reification.
I won't even use the egg. I won't even use the egg just to appease you. Okay, so what is your observed phenomena?
I'm not claiming a scientific hypothesis, Flatzoid. I'm claiming a necessary antecedent relationship.
Then. A necessary antecedent relationship. So therefore, it would have to be scientific, correct? Because you can test
Flatzoid,
it.
Can you manipulate and demonstrate the container?
Yes, I
that
can.
We're in.
Not that we're in.
The container of Earth. Can you manipulate and demonstrate
That's
it?
not how antecedents work. I can demonstrate with scientific experimentation. Gas always requires containment. So therefore, we breathing, we have gas pressure, we have containment. You, on the other hand, are claiming Earth to be accelerating. No, listen.
You said that you could demonstrate that gas always requires containment?
Yes.
Okay, well, guess what, buddy? I could demonstrate that a vector always requires what? Motion.
And I can
there you go.
debunk that, hence the egg
You didn't
experiment.
debunk shit. You debunked it with a presupposition.
No,
you debunked it with a reification fallacy.
Listen, was that egg and the table everything? What's the presupposition there? Is it you saying it's accelerating, or is it me observing it to be stationary?
It's you
observing it to be stationary.
That you're stationary, despite the fact that you're observing a vector, which requires motion.
So circular reasoning, because you can't accept I can take a stationary object and accelerate it by changing the density, which you conceded many times. No, mate, you are the one assuming it has a vector because of accelerating. You are the one making the burden. So again, back to the scientific method. What is your observed phenomena for
the container that the egg is in? The container that the egg is in with the water.
Is that your observed phenomena?
Which direction is its weight oriented towards?
I asked what is your observed phenomena?
Which direction is the container with the egg and the water which direction is its weight oriented
towards? This is getting nowhere. You just have to answer
simple exactly. I've been saying that for the past 20 minutes. We're going nowhere because all you're going to do is distract from your claim.
If you got nothing to provide, then don't claim a rising Earth because you're running away from it. I can prove it's stationary using the scientific method. You can't prove it's moving because you don't even have an observed natural phenomena, you fuckwit.
Triggered. Oh man, don't be so triggered.
Yeah, because I'm talking to a bloody moron that can't even just be straight and honest with the person and say, this is my naturally observed phenomena, so therefore this is why I say Earth is rising. So I'm going to get angry because it's like pulling teeth from a bloody dishonest prick that won't answer me. What is your observed phenomena? You claiming something that goes against reality observed. So tell me, what is your observed phenomena, or I'm going to be calling you a globe tart, because that's exactly what you are. You are pushing globe rhetoric and have the audacity to be a hypocrite and say, no, I'm not a glober. I don't just believe. That's exactly what you're doing. So, be a man. What is your observed phenomena, JC?
You just believe that objects accelerate equally towards Earth.
What is your observed phenomena?
Words. Keep asking me it, Flatzoid. How many times did I tell you that I'm not claiming a scientific hypothesis? How many times?
So you don't have any claim then. You don't have a claim it's rising. It's a belief then.
Can you prove things outside of the scientific method?
No, because it's not empirical. Scientific method is
so
empirical.
We can't prove that the Earth is flat.
Yes, I can using science. Shape is not science, but I can use scientific method to prove it's flat.
Are you hearing this one, buddy? Are you hearing this one, buddy?
Don't come and try and take me out of context, mate.
You could prove that the Earth is flat using science.
Yes, I can.
Take that to your FED high priest and see what they tell you, my man.
Listen.
That is hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious.
Can you shut up and let me talk, JC?
We're done here. We're done, dude. We're
What?
done. I'm
Yeah,
done with
run
this
away.
moron.
I
Be dishonest.
probably should have stepped in earlier.
Okay,
I
no,
apologize
no,
about
I'm
that,
done with this
gentlemen.
guy.
It's been a good conversation.
I'm going
you guys are getting
Yeah, I'm going to defend myself with
No,
this.
we're
damn-
done.
absolutely,
We're
No,
done.
I'm going to
absolutely.
defend myself.
You can
No,
finish. You can
thank
finish. You can finish, Flatzoid. I'm gonna let
This
you finish.
guy-
But he just was.
Dishonest
I just wanted to
prick.
kind of calm it down a little bit. I just wanted to calm it down a little bit. Absolutely. Please defend yourself.
I
sir.
will get triggered now because he's a dishonest prick. You can use the scientific method to prove it's flat. Flat itself is not a science. You want to know how I can use science to prove it's flat? Have you ever thought of that? How do you do it? Have you ever thought of doing that, JC? No, you don't, because you're too stupid to even understand you can't even make a claim for accelerating Earth. So,
Oh man.
must I show you how it's possible? Should I show you how it's possible, mate? By using scientific method to prove the Earth is flat. Do you want to know, JC?
No, I'm just letting the FED crew know that their lapdog needs more training because you're an idiot.
Wow, so ad homing when I say I can actually
The shape of
prove
the
it's-
Earth, Flatzoid, is a what
Yeah,
is
so
question,
we're-
not a how
we're
why.
Definitely descending
can
a little
use-
bit here, gentlemen.
Okay, again, I can use the scientific method to prove the Earth is flat. Not the Earth is flat because of scientific method. There's a difference. Shape is not science, but I can use method, the scientific method, to show that it is flat. There's a difference. Wording is very important here, JC, something you really don't understand.
What's your observed phenomenon for a flat Earth?
Did I say flat Earth was my observed phenomena, or did I say I can use scientific method to prove it's flat? Huh.
Okay, what's your observed phenomena to prove that it's flat?
I see too far. How's that?
You see too far compared to what?
I can see compared to the pushed narrative, I see Chicago skyline, which should be impossible to see. How's that?
What's your independent variable?
The distance.
What's your hypothesis?
My hypothesis for seeing too far would show that if I change my position, I should see further.
Change your position from where?
I'm manipulating my position. Do I manipulate my position when I manipulate my position?
What does your position have to do with the shape of the Earth?
You have an angle towards the Chicago skyline or whatever you want to observe, which is already too far to see. So if I change my position and I see even further or closer, did I manipulate my independent variable?
What does that have to do with the shape of the Earth?
Sphere, not see thing. Flat, I see thing.
You said that you could use science to prove the Earth is flat, correct?
Yep. You do know science is also deductible. So it's logical deduction based on empirical evidence. So if I have empirical evidence that I see too far, or I have empirical evidence that we have containment, or I have empirical evidence that space cannot exist as a vacuum, that is evidence for a flat Earth, correct?
Definitely not science.
Definitely science. Empirical
No,
deduction comes from after experimentation and data reviewed, mate.
Flatzoid, the scientific method is a how-why question, not a what-is question. You're saying that you could
what?
prove
No, it's
what
a
the
what-
Earth is.
Oh, sorry. What is the cause for water boiling? Would that be heat? So it's a what is, JC?
Yeah, you have lost the plot big time, buddy.
What caused water to boil,
Wait
JC?
till the FED reviews this, man.
What
You're
causes
gonna
water,
get-
JC?
you're gonna get
JC,
spanked.
JC, what causes water to boil?
Yeah.
What causes water to boil? So it's a
We're-
what is.
We're off. We're done
So
here.
it's a
Flatzoid.
what is, you mongrel.
Go. Okay, yeah. Go ahead and
And by
take
the
this
way,
to your,
and by
to
the
your
way,
buddies.
and by the way, JC, I don't
Yeah.
report to FED or no one. I am my own person. We all
Okay,
have our
that's good.
disagreements, and literally you have shown to not understand science, not understand how burden of proof works, not understand what observed phenomena is because you claim stuff, not understand how inertia works. You don't know what displacement is. You don't even know basic physics, and you want to come and tell me what the hell's going on? That's sad.
Okay, you feel
And
better?
then still have the way to tell me science is not a what is, because that's exactly what science is. What is what causes.
Oh boy, yeah. You feel better?
Much better, because you've been shown to be a moron from beginning to end. And my
Okay.
note, by the way, guys,
Roll some more
this
insults.
guy still hasn't come and provided evidence for his rising Earth at all, and
right,
then still
Hammer.
has the audacity to tell me that I am assuming a stationary Earth while we observe it. Yeah, I'm finished with this.
I just want to say. Oh, sorry.
I'm finished with this
Well,
guy. He's not even worth it.
Well, I appreciate
I've
both you
exposed
gentlemen being
I've
here for
exposed
sure.
what I needed to expose. I'm good. We're good.
Yeah, you've exposed.
I
You know
appreciate-
nothing. Yeah, I agree.
I appreciate both of you guys being here for real. I thought it was a great argument. I think you both are just getting tired towards the end. You know what I mean? It's been a long conversation. Maybe we can do it again if you guys like to, or
No, not with this guy. This guy's a waste of time. He can't even concede. He doesn't even know what observed phenomenon is after he claims reality. He claims it's accelerating Earth, and I say, okay, what's your observed phenomena? He knows if he says accelerating Earth, he has to provide where we see this, and he can't. That's why he wants to push the burden onto me, because what do we observe? Stationary Earth. The guy's a glober. That's all he is. He's pushing equivalence principle. He's a globatoric pusher. He's a deltard. He belongs to the cult of delts. That's all it is. That's why Del's too scared to talk to me, so he sends his disciples to talk to me, because they're more stupid than he is.
Del didn't send anyone, dude.
Yeah, because he's a coward.
Okay, are you gonna just keep hurling insults, Flatzoid, or are we gonna be done?
Fact is not insult, mate.
You were
Yeah,
you were pretty pissy, dude. So we could
Pissy.
be
I'm
done.
a pissy. While I'm calling
Yeah,
you,
are
while
you
I'm
hearing
calling an
yourself?
idiot for stating
Are
stupid
you hearing
stuff.
yourself?
Yes, I'm hearing myself. I'm calling a spade a spade.
So Flatzoid, still no demonstration of equal acceleration, correct?
You can
Got
go.
it. We're good. Still no demonstration of a vector without motion, right? Okay, we're good. Yep.
And
got
he
it.
just shows to be a liar as well. Congratulations, JC.
Yep.
Well, thank
All
you
right.
guys both. Seriously, like
We're done.
JC, I'm not holding you here. I don't got handcuffs on you. I really do appreciate you guys coming. I mean, I could just
Yeah.
shut down the show.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell the audience I have another show, I guess, with FTFE coming up. That's gonna be exciting in about an hour and a half. So stay tuned for that. I don't know if it's gonna be on Refractive Philosophy or I'll just post it. Probably be on here. It should be on here anyway. I should be able to get it on both though, if I can
All right.
get my technical skills up. So appreciate you guys letting me do that. I did get JC's Discord server in the chat there in the middle of it somewhere. Hopefully I will get it in the description down here, and definitely go check it out. Remind me the name of it, JC.
Yeah. So I'm starting a server. Just a way of giving this discussion another platform, because I think that people are kind of hoping that it just dies down and loses steam. So this is my way of contributing and kind of reinforcing that this isn't going anywhere. So the server's name is The Plane Objective, and it's a work in progress. It's not totally ready yet. I still have some more work to do on it with the roles and a couple more chat rooms and text rooms. But I'm getting there. So yeah, I appreciate Hammer if you post the link, and if anyone wants to join and talk about this, then that's what it's for. So there's that. And hey, Flatzoid, for what it's worth, man, thanks for agreeing to this debate discussion. And here we are. I got nothing more to say.
Yeah. Thanks,
Thanks
JC.
again. Oh, sorry, Flats. Okay.
That's okay. Thank you, JC, for coming and having the cojones to do so. Although I did expect more for you actually to present something other than show you can lie and obfuscate and take people out of context and that. But hey, if that's what you want to show, go ahead. Good luck with your new server, by the way.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody in the chat, check that out. I will get the link in this video description in the bottom of it. I gotta give me a minute patient in that. I will post it back actually in the chat right here right now if you can grab it from there. And then also, of course, everybody, if you're not already signed up, please go subscribe to Mr. Flatzoid's Perspective YouTube channel. You have anything else you want to plug while we're here?
No, I just got a channel. It'd be nice if you guys can just hit me up if you don't know about me. But yeah, we do have streams practically every night. So it would be good if you guys want to come on. And I'm definitely willing to chat to anybody. So yeah. That's about
so I just put the link. Thank you, sir. Just put the link again for that Discord channel, and I will get it in the description. Appreciate everybody coming by. Thanks again, gentlemen. Any last words before we get out of here?
Yeah. Anybody who's claiming accelerating Earth, what's your observed phenomena?
Alrighty. Appreciate you guys. JC Flats. Hope to catch you again very soon. Have a great night.
Thanks.
All right. Yep. Thanks, Hammer.
Cheers, JC. Okay. Thanks, Hammer. Really appreciate it. Thank you, JC. I'm going to go on with my show now.
Yep. See you guys.
Cheers, guys. Thanks, Hammer, again for hosting this. Wow. So we can have a quick little after show if you guys are wanting to come in for that. Oh, I can't believe it. Yeah, TB, I did really actually say that wrong with you see too far kind of thing. So I'm going to concede that I was actually wrong. That was more for me being a bit hot in the weather. I shouldn't have brought it up that way. How I would like to actually, what I want to try to explain actually was you can use the scientific method to prove it's flat. Obviously, you can do experiments like we can prove Earth, because against the narrative we got now, we can prove Earth is not a sphere, so therefore the only antithesis would be, as a null, it would have to be flat Earth. That's how I should have explained it, but I didn't explain it too well. But I love how he says science is not a what is. Well, that's exactly what science is. Well, not what is as he was trying to say what is the shape. It's like what causes would be the what is. So what causes water to boil is heat. In other words, that's what I was trying to say. So there was a bit of miscommunication. But other than that, the guy was a total moron, and I'm going to keep that with fact. It's not ad homing when it's fact. The guy literally was caught lying, double speaking, obfuscating, creating red herrings and strawmans non-stop. And when I try to keep his toes to the fire, he wants to push it onto me.
That's it. We knew he would do that, Flats. He was just he was making the positive claim. It's stationary Earth is observable. Uprising Earth is not observable. He's making the positive claim. The burden of proof is on him. All he tried to do was reverse that on you all night long.
And then says there's the audacity to say I never demonstrated anything. I mean, it's so simple. When you're sitting here, let's start with what do you observe? So what you observe natural phenomena. I observe stationary. Okay?
Yeah. He
observes movement, acceleration, this is. So then show me where you observe this acceleration. He knew he can't do that.
Exactly.
Thank you, Face Reality, for $5 super chat. Here you go. After the guy, I'm sure you'll need one of these. FYI, why do we see too far? Based off the globe rhetoric. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was based off the globe rhetoric. Obviously, I probably didn't handle that right, so I was a bit wrong there. But I was really getting hot-headed because the guy's so dishonest. There's only so much a guy can take. When I ask him a simple yes or no question, he can't answer me.
No, he was calling you up. He was saying you obfuscate. You were just trying to give examples. There was no obfuscation there.
I literally had to explain to him like I would to a child to understand how inertia works. Guys, I mean, he conceded how many times I'm saying, and then again has the audacity to say, I'm going against physics, when he literally conceded what I said, which is actual observed physics.
Yeah, yeah. I can see you were actually getting annoyed at the end. That's the most annoyed I've ever seen you
And
get.
the dishonest punk doesn't get when he forced that object to accelerate downwards. Okay, it was man-made conjure that wasn't natural. When you drop something naturally, that's naturally showing acceleration. Then they all accelerate at the same rate. But when he forces it to accelerate downwards, forcing it with extra force, it will show difference. It's conservation, it's resistance to inertia. That's all it is. And the guy just didn't want to understand this.
And like what you said about where did you pick the mouse up from? And he's just not getting that, is he? I mean, there's nothing solid underneath that. If you drop it, it's going to fall. So if the earth wasn't rising, if you picked up that mouse, then let it go. If the earth wasn't rising, would it just stay there on air?
That's we didn't even get to that. That's what Dal says. He says,
Exactly.
But that's why I said, okay, you're taking your car accelerating. Well, then let's do it with a car driving at 100 kilometers an hour into a brick wall 50 meters away and another brick wall 100 meters away. He's traveling exactly the same speed. He'll hit that wall at exactly the same amount of force.
Yeah.
It's not going to change. That's why he couldn't. So, I can't make a claim if it's accelerating or constant. Because if he said accelerating, he knows where it would have taken him. And when he said constant, he had to backtrack and say that's not what he said.
Exactly. He was. I thought maybe we might have someone with a little bit of sense tonight, but obviously not.
No, the guy's a moron. That's why I say it's not ad homing when I call him an idiot. He is a literal idiot. It's fact.
No. And if anybody ad homed, I think he was ad homing at the start. I mean, I can't remember what he said, but I'm sure he said something derogatory anyway. I mean, you all right, Rachie? How you doing?
Hey, Rachie, thank you for coming. Yeah, it was a bit difficult I would rather talk with Rachie because I know she's much more intelligent than the JC guy.
Yeah.
The guy is just dishonest. He was literally being dishonest.
He was.
I mean, the guy conceded he doesn't know how displacement works, so I had to explain it to him, and then wants to tell me I don't understand physics. Come on. But yeah, it's... At the end of the day, all he did was not provide any evidence for his claims and try to push the burden onto me. And again, I'm going to say this, I've said this many times. Who has ever claimed, according to RDD, that when a thing's in free fall, it should displace? No one's claimed that.
Yeah. It's just like, say, sideways globos. Yeah. Sideways globos. Wow.
But I mean, like Rachie, like I said with you, at least you have the understanding you require acceleration to keep your vector. When they claim constant, they can't have that vector anymore as they're claiming.
But it wasn't he trying to claim both, like constant and accelerating?
Yeah, exactly.
How can you do that?
Yeah, exactly. He was trying to claim both. But I was hoping he was going to go to the swing ball Earth, but he never got around to that.
Gosh.
Because what's his excuse? I can't get out of Earth to see what it is. So then don't make the claim that's accelerating.
Exactly. How you can't observe it? How do you, I don't get it. If you can't observe it, I mean, you can have that thought in your head, oh, maybe we're right, not, but how can you sit down and try and make a case for it if you can't even observe it?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we have we do have observed phenomena.
Yeah.
They don't. Just like I'm sitting, I have a egg in water on a table. It's stationary. I'm observing everything stationary. There's no movement. I see no acceleration. This is observed. I change the medium's density or the object's density, and then I see acceleration. So therefore, I caused the effect.
Yeah.
I observed it all in a stationary reference frame. He has to go and say, I got this egg on this table. It's accelerating. So show me it's accelerating before you can go on. He can't. Because there's nowhere as observed to say it's accelerating. I mean, even when I let go of the helium balloon, he says, what's the cause for acceleration? Oh, the buoyancy, the density. So not acceleration of Earth then.
You're madness, isn't it? I mean, I don't blame you though. If you're going to debate one of the uprising Delsonics, then don't do GC.
Yeah.
He's annoying. If you knew what he was talking about, it wouldn't be so bad. But well, like I said, he just tried to reverse the burden onto you.
It's all he's done from the beginning.
Point of view, it's just all musings in the head. This is, and try to make a case for it.
Yeah, and I mean, literally, he just came in and he uses. I commonly use that execrate guy, the guy that literally takes things out of context the whole time and contradicts himself. That channel to make his points, which debunks his own claims to begin with, and he doesn't get how. It's really sad.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I can't stay on much longer.
I don't blame you. That's the most annoyed I've ever seen you get. You know what I mean?
I had to.
Yeah, of course.
It was literally, I was getting angry, guys, not because I was triggered on about what is happening. I was getting angry because the guy's so dishonest.
Yeah.
Literally, the guy is a dishonest twat, and I'm calling him out now as a dishonest, lying twat who's been shown on your live that he cannot just have an honest conversation.
Dumb.
Yeah. Even Vicky was saying he was dumb.
And that other one, that one in the chat, Ken.
All right.
Go and get a brain.
It is draining, Brian. Yeah, but I mean, this literally, it was draining me mentally. I was thinking, how do I explain to a guy, if you don't observe something, how can you claim it? How can you push it onto me if you can't even prove what you're claiming?
Exactly.
Thank you, Ian, for coming, mate. Really appreciate it. So, yeah, guys, I think I'm going to end this here. I am bushed.
Yeah, don't blame me.
I mean, and then Wednesday night, it's me and McToon for Celestial Navigation.
Mm-hmm. Are you having a show tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Tomorrow's
Monday, yeah.
Just because you said Wednesday, I just thought maybe you were having a night off or something. Okay, cool.
No, I must say, last night I wanted to have a show, but I was just far too tired. When we came back, we only got the kids to bed at like 10:30, 11, and I just didn't have energy. And like, now I have to sleep.
Right, absolutely. But yeah, it was like I say, it was just like I say, it was. But the burden of proof was on him, and he just kept reversing it. I know I've said it a few times, but that's what was in my head all night. He just keeps reversing it, then says you're obfuscating when you were giving examples and stuff like that. But yeah, you're just ridiculous. There's no getting through to him at all. It just seems like your head's hitting a brick wall. You know what I mean? And that's what it felt like tonight. I felt angry for you. And Vicky did. And she's annoying you. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, but I mean, I couldn't understand. I mean, it's not difficult to understand. It's really not. That's why I say it's all it comes down to is dishonesty. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah, that's it. Definitely. And there was a lot of dishonesty there, without a doubt.
But it's fine. What we got out, the guy proved to just be a lying, double-speaking, contradicting clown. So it's fine. But that's all they have at the end of the day. Starts off with telling me the equivalence principle is not globe rhetoric.
Wow.
Where it literally comes from Einstein to make his globe work, to bend space and time. And then tells me I'm pushing the globe.
Yeah.
Because I observe things fall to the ground and accelerate upwards. No, the thing is, that's not globe rhetoric. That's simple observations, simple things we can measure.
And when he said about you can't prove a flat earth through science, like you just wow.
Oh, look, we got in. Execrate. You want to go, clown? Dude, I don't think you want to even try. If you have anything better than this guy, maybe, but make sure you bring your observed phenomena first.
Oh my goodness! How come you're a clown until you actually get in that? Then they realise, oh, he's not a clown, and they start running.
Yeah, but I mean, this execrate is the same guy that claims to be a Christian and says the Bible isn't God's word.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I don't understand how you can claim to be a Christian then.
Yeah, how can you claim to be a Christian and the Bible, where it says the earth is stationary and steadfast, says no, it's saying it's moving? Makes so much sense.
Minnie, chill.
But yeah, execrate as well. Just having that name alone tells something about him. Yeah, we all know what execrate means. Anyway, guys, I gotta go sleep. yeah, Execrate, if you do want to come and get your ass handed to you like JC did, more than happy to. Just not tonight. I'm going to sleep now.
We will blame you.
Yeah, so I'll see you guys all tomorrow night. Many, many blessings. May the pressure be with you. God bless.